and ye shall receive.
The Brewers head to L.A. to take on the Angels. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's noon. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 31st. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, a phone call from a Meijer store leads to a police shooting.
I'm Mike Spalding, pushing to pass the SAVE Act.
Mostly cloudy today. We have a high of 80 degrees. Rain and storms likely tonight. It's going to be windy, too. We'll dip down to 66 degrees for the low. It's currently 75 and overcast in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a hostage situation at a Meijer store in Waukesha ends with an officer-involved shooting.
The situation started with a phone call from a man who Waukesha Police Chief Dan Thompson says has a history of contact with local police.
The caller, an adult male, stated that he was armed with a knife, had taken a hostage, and demanded to speak with the hostage negotiator.
Police found him near a 59-year-old victim inside the store and say he refused commands to drop the knife. An officer then shot him. The 59-year-old man had non-life-threatening injuries, and the suspect is in critical condition. A male officer with 5 years on the force was placed on administrative leave. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Fire crews responding to a fire in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. They were called at about 8 o'clock this morning to a fire on the second floor of a duplex near Holton and North. Neighbors telling WTMJ that the homeowner was at his fiance's home in Kenosha when the fire started. Police were able to kick out a homeless person from the home yesterday. The cause of the fire right now still under investigation.
Decision Wisconsin. As State Representative Francesca Hogg and Congressman Tom Tiffany appear to be the front runners in the gubernatorial race, what can voters expect heading into November? UW-La Crosse political science professor Anthony Chergosky tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News he's predicting negative campaigning.
With a very conservative member of Congress and a very liberal member of the state legislature, I almost wonder if it's more trying to argue that the other candidate is an unacceptable risk and trying to disqualify the other candidate in the minds of those independent voters rather than the candidates gravitating towards the middle themselves.
First, voters will need to decide among 4 candidates for the Democratic nomination after former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes dropped out of the race yesterday. We brought that to you as breaking news right here on Midday. The partisan primary election is less than 2 weeks away.
And President Trump's Save America Act voting bill remains stalled in the U.S. Senate. President now calling on Republicans to get that legislation passed before they leave for summer break. News Nation's Trevor Shirley.
The SAVE Act would require proof of citizenship to register to vote and a photo ID when at the ballot. Even some Republicans still aren't on board, and there's no support from Democrats. President Trump argues Republicans should kill the filibuster, a red line few on either side of the aisle are willing to cross. Some senators say they want to see changes to get the president's agenda moving. But Leader Thune says there isn't enough support to change the long-standing rule.
Thune says he would be supportive of canceling the break if he says there was a path forward on the legislation.
The federal government is taking new action against businesses in China.
The Department of Homeland Security blocked 43 Chinese-based companies from having their products enter the United States, making it the single largest state blockage of Chinese forced labor goods in U.S. history. The companies that were blocked from doing business in the United States are in the aluminum, apparel, copper, cotton, and tomato sectors. The Department of Homeland Security says blocking these companies is a matter of national security. Luke Barr, ABC News, Washington.
Time now for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow's up 249 points at 52,457. The S&P 500 up 38.5 at 74.76. The Nasdaq's up 175 at 25,297. It's financial planning at every level. It's Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Details now at annexwealth.com.
Guess who just got activated? Great news, Packers fans. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is coming up on 12:05.
Whoop, just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, nope. No shortcuts, nope. It's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. You betcha. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle. For a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's construction season, and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk. A welcome sight at Packers training camp today. That would be tight end Tucker Kraft, who was on the field for the first time since tearing his ACL last November. Kraft officially removed off the physically unable to perform list. Head coach Matt LaFleur says that the focus for his team today will be getting in and out of the huddle quicker.
Anytime an offense approaches the line of scrimmage, the faster they approach the line of scrimmage, the more pressure it puts on the defense. So, yeah, that was a big point of emphasis.
Family night at Lambeau set for 1 week from today. The Brewers, meanwhile, continue their West Coast road trip tonight as they take on the Los Angeles Angels in the first of a 3-game series. Shane Drone takes the mound for the Brewers tonight. Our coverage gets underway right here on WTMJ starting at 8 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. I pulled up the map, and this is one of those days I said, whoa, what's going on here? It is a bit of a mess. We have a couple of crashes, a handful of disabled vehicles, and then, of course, we've got the slowdowns in your construction zones. One of the crashes right now is down in, that's Milwaukee County, getting close to the Racine County border here. It's 4194 South, very close to Elm Road. The left shoulder is blocked due to a crash. Traffic is definitely slowing down as it passes. We've got another spot, too, in the Greenfield area that's causing a couple of issues. It's just a disabled vehicle, but it's a spot where it is, and it's in a construction zone. So you've got 4143, 894 East at 43 North. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. That's in our construction area in the Greenfield area, and things are definitely slowing down there. A couple of disabled vehicles around State Fair Park. Most of those not causing a problem, though. And another crash in another construction zone. This crash is on the ramp from Moreland Road to 94 East. A very busy spot, but it does look like traffic is moving along smoothly there. And a disabled vehicle, a broken down car on I-43 North at Capitol Drive East. Right shoulder is blocked in that case.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock-solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly cloudy skies today. Chance of an evening shower tonight, a high this afternoon of 80 degrees. Overnight tonight, rain, showers are likely, windy, cloudy otherwise, a low of 66. Tomorrow, rain in the morning, ending into the afternoon, beautiful, otherwise a high 72 degrees. Sunday, partly cloudy, breezy, 72 degrees is your high. Into next week, mostly sunny on Monday, high 77. Tuesday, warmer, a bit more humid, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, it is 77 degrees at 12:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Matzek, it's Mike Spalding.
Happy Friday, everybody. Always sounds good, doesn't it, Mike?
Love a good Friday.
Love a good Friday. Even if it's a little dreary outside, that's okay. We'll take it. We're working for the weekend right now. We've got a big show coming up for you today. Inspectors are now going building by building in Menasha, deciding which homes are safe, which have restricted access, and which are too dangerous to enter? We'll go live to Menasha to learn what they're finding in just a few minutes here. Then later, schools are adding a new tool to fight active shooters, drones. They can chase, distract, and even hit an armed suspect. But are they a lifesaver or a liability? We'll ask the CEO behind the new system. But first,
it's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
CBS puts broadcaster Tony Romo on leave after his arrest here in Milwaukee. It's breaking news today. The network made the announcement this morning, just a couple of hours ago, a little more than a week after Romo was arrested on suspicion of OWI. This is the first time CBS has said anything about it, and it's just one sentence. Tony Romo is on leave from his role at CBS Sports until further notice. The former Cowboys quarterback was pulled over in the Marquette interchange. A Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputy said Romo performed poorly on a field sobriety test and refused a preliminary breath test. We have all seen the videos by now, body camera footage. A little bit of it came out, then more came out. First offense OWI is not a criminal charge in Wisconsin. It's typically a civil offense with a citation often issued between $150 and $300. The former Cowboys quarterback, now broadcaster, is a Burlington native. A lot of people, especially around the country, were wondering why was he in Milwaukee? Well, he was back in Wisconsin to play in the Wisconsin Amateur Championship.
Well, Jessica, Tony Romo's downfall is opening up an opportunity for yet another Wisconsin native and Wisconsinite, that being J.J. Watt. On the heels of the announcement of Romo's suspension, CBS said that they plan on promoting J.J. Watt from the number 2 broadcast team, in which he's held a role since 2023, up to the number 1 booth with Jim Nantz and Tracy Wolfson. Watt, so we all know him, Pewaukee native, former Wisconsin Badger, and future NFL Hall of Famer. Played 12 seasons in the NFL and joined CBS in 2023. So J.J. Watt getting the call up to the, I guess you could call it the big leagues, as the number one guy on the broadcast. We don't know how long it'll last either. CBS said he will take the reins, I should say, next to Jim Nantz for the foreseeable future, and said that they plan on releasing the next phase of the broadcast for like the second half of the season at a later date.
I'm looking forward to seeing how J.J. Watt does in that role.
I am too.
I feel like people are going to love him, then you have some people are going to hate him, and that's just the way it goes for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are.
I think there's an opportunity, for CBS to catch a little bit of lightning in a bottle here. If you're the people that follow the media or sports media at all, you'll know that Tony Romo, even prior to last Thursday, was catching a little bit of, I'd say, flack maybe after his meteoric rise in the broadcast world. People were getting a little, I think, tired of the way that he did things. And I think CBS looked at it like, hey, we have an opportunity here to maybe spark some more conversation and see where we're going, because they don't have a Super Bowl till 2028. So this year, good opportunity for J.J. Watt to test his legs as the number 1 guy.
Watt has a big following on social media, too. Yes. Governor Tony Evers is granting another 210 pardons today. That brings the total he's issued since taking office to more than 2,200. A pardon is an official act of forgiveness that restores rights lost after a felony conviction. So you're talking about rights like holding public office, possessing a firearm, or obtaining certain professional licenses. A pardon does not erase a criminal record. So that's an important note there. Evers says today's recipients have paid their debt to society and they've earned a second chance. I was looking over the list, Mike, just before the show. It's a long one with 210 people pardoned. But some of the highlights: there's a man who stopped a home invasion years after being convicted of theft. There's a woman who went from writing bad checks and committing fraud to becoming a published author and public service award winner. And there's another person who earned support for his pardon from both a victim of his crime and a police sergeant in his community. So lots of interesting highlights. We'll dive through them more and maybe even see if we can reach out to some of these people and bring them on Midday Show, because it's certainly an interesting story about their lives and how they've changed them. We're out of time, though, for that one. Coming up, it's 12:14. The cleanup is underway, but for many families, the hardest part is just beginning. As inspectors fan out across Menasha, we'll learn what they're finding inside some of the city's hardest hit neighborhoods. We go live to where the tornado tore through next.
Are you looking for a welcoming place to unwind? Vince Vitrano here. Our family found a home at Racine Country Club. Premier golf on the historic championship course, rolling terrain, famously fast greens, tight fairways, and scenic Root River views. Work your game year-round with indoor simulators, hitting bays, top-notch practice facilities, and leagues for every level. Plus, at Racine Country Club, you enjoy elevated dining, swimming, and a full calendar of family-friendly events. Join me on the course at Racine Country Club, racinecountryclub.com.
Bring us your problems, deadlines, complexities, anxieties, distractions, and budget distresses.
Plum Media is listening.
Share with us your creative block.
Plum Media is ready.
Give us your audience with limited time and attention.
Plum Media sets your message free.
Let's get your message heard. Let's strive for retention from beginning to completion. Whether your next event is for celebration, education, motivation, inspiration, Plum Media is waiting to take action.
Professional collaborators, planners, managers. Plum Media, video production and event management.
Plum Media, wow moments, flawless execution, clarity, calm, control.
And results.
Plum Media, a video, meetings, and event producer with global experience. PlumMedia.com.
See every smile, every milestone, every moment that matters most. From the moment you walk into Shopko Optical, you'll feel welcomed, valued, and genuinely cared for. The team at Shopko Optical takes time to understand your concerns, explain your options, and answer questions so you feel confident in your care. Whether you're due for a comprehensive eye exam or looking for the right eyewear, they're here to support your vision and eye health every step of the way. Create your personalized eye care plan. Visit shopko.com today.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly cloudy skies this afternoon, tracking some rain moving into southeast Wisconsin. Later today, a high of 80 degrees. Overnight tonight, rain will continue into the overnight hours. Windy, a low 66. Tomorrow, rain showers are early, set to come to an end by the afternoon, a high 72. Sunday, partly cloudy and breezy, 72 degrees is your high. Monday, mostly sunny, 77. Tuesday, warm and humid, a high of 80 degrees. Right now, downtown Milwaukee, it's 78 degrees at 12:18.
Well, I don't know about you, Mike, but every time I see just any new shot, any new video, any new pictures from the Fox Valley, I'm hooked. I've got to see it because the damage, even as they just start to pick up, is just so intense. You can't help but just open your eyes wide to it.
You know, and it didn't feel that way in the moment, which, you know, you've heard countless people talk about it. You know, we were on the air when it was happening and we were with Craig and saying, hey, it looks nasty. It's very windy, straight line winds. And once it kind of cleared and we got a really good look at the devastation, it took me back a little bit.
Yeah, without a doubt. Well, it's day 2 of damage assessments in Menasha, one of the city's hardest hit by Monday's devastating tornado. Teams are going building to building, documenting the destruction, determining which homes and businesses are safe and which ones aren't. Those inspections are critical because they'll help determine whether Winnebago County can qualify for state or federal disaster assistance. They're also giving city leaders their clearest picture yet of just how much damage was done. Andrew Dane is the Community Development Director in Menasha, and he joins us live with an update. Thanks for joining us, Andrew.
Thanks for having me. Good afternoon.
You've now had assessment teams out in the field for a full day, and you're in the midst of the second. What are you finding so far?
Yeah, we had teams. We had 7 teams of 2, so we had 14 inspectors from City Menasha and municipalities from Green Bay down to Fond du Lac. Out yesterday, we did 267 inspections, and we found that over 40% of those inspections, the structures were either tagged with yellow or red cards, meaning there was either some pretty moderate to severe damage to total destruction of the structures. So initial results we're getting back are fairly damaging impacts. Today's day 2. We've got another large group of inspectors out hitting the road, and we'll have a much better sense after today, kind of what some of the damage looks like.
Andrew, do you have any idea on when you'll kind of get that holistic, like full-scale scope of not only what the damage is, but then also what cleanup's going to look like what recovery is going to look like?
Yeah, we think we've sort of moved out of that emergency services sort of initial, 24 to 48 hour period. We're in this sort of secondary post-response assessment period. I anticipate that'll be going on for probably at least another week or so to really wrap our head around the extent of the damage. So I'm anticipating at least another week, perhaps longer, just to go through and visit every single home and do those inspections. And then at that point, we start to move into that longer term recovery period, which, quite honestly, probably will be months, but really more like years, just due to the extent of the damage.
You mentioned those green, yellow, and red placards that are going on the buildings. Can you explain what exactly that means for homeowners? So if you get a yellow or red tag, what happens next? And I can't imagine being a homeowner going to my home and just seeing that red placard that basically means, hey, that home's not safe.
Right, and the red, and we've been trying to be real clear with this, it doesn't mean that the home's condemned, that we don't have a raise order. This is just an initial assessment, but a lot of these red tag structures are clearly going to need to be rebuilt. A lot of them aren't even there. They're just a pile of rubble. So the yellows are, moderately to severely damaged buildings that may be, habitable, or at least portions where we're putting restrictions on who goes in and out of those homes. But those sometimes could be missing siding, holes in roofs, potentially falling chimneys, other potential structural damage. They really range from sort of moderate to sort of more serious impacts, but not raised to the point where people where we're saying don't go in those structures. Those are really, there's pretty significant damages. A lot of broken windows, a lot of ripped off, torn off siding, a lot of garages. So some of those, a lot of garages, you'd be amazed at how many garages just flew out of people's yards or got moved, 10, 15 feet or ended up in the neighbor's backyard. Jeez. So pretty emotional and challenging times here.
Andrew, how has it been setting up operation centers or recovery centers, things like that, for someone who, as Jessica said, might show up back to their home and see that, they're not able to go in there anymore? Like, are there a lot of people still in the community who are just finding a place to stay for the night? Yeah, and, I think, a lot of people have family in the area, and so, I think a lot of people are staying with family. A number of the hotels have offered up free hotel rooms. So we've got, I think people are being housed, clothed, fed. The former UW Fox Valley campus is set up as a volunteer resource center, and that's kind of our hub of distribution. But then we've got multiple stations set up, portable restrooms, bottled water, food, non-perishable, ready-made meals, a lot of local restaurants stepping up with fresh prepared meals. We've got shower stations, hand washing stations set up sort of throughout this heavily impacted area, which is sort of the southern part of the city, and Doty Island, which are the ones where it really took the biggest hit.
These assessments, they're really important, but they don't guarantee any aid. Can you kind of explain that process for people who don't know what's happening right now and what happens next?
Yeah. So the National Guards come in. They're also kind of helping with logistics now. These assessments, if we reach a critical threshold of damage, and so extent of the damage, number of impacted structures, number of impacted people, families, households, helps go into some type of formula, federal formula, which I to be honest with you, don't know the full details, a little above my pay grade, but there will be some sort of assessment made at the state and federal levels to determine whether or not we qualify for federal disaster relief assistance.
And Andrew, you mentioned the National Guard. Are any Guard members there right now? I know I saw a post last night saying that the Guard was going to be there this weekend. What do you know as far as where they're coming in and what they're going to be doing?
Yeah, I believe they're just starting to show up on the scene and assist with items such as traffic control. We're putting in a plan that will be announced later today, I believe, and later this afternoon press release to start looking at a garbage pickup and collection, because that's one of the things that we've heard is a real priority. They're assisting with traffic control, helping monitor some of the access closure points. We're really trying to obviously stress to folks not to come into these heavily impacted areas unless you're in some sort of official volunteer capacity with a yellow jacket on and you've been to the Volunteer Resource Center. We really are trying to stress the importance of people not coming into these areas to just take a look at what's happening, because that's leads to a lot of traffic closures and road closures where we're getting bottlenecks, right, of vehicles, people coming in trying to help, but not in a coordinated way. So they're going to be assisting with a lot of those type of logistics, and then I believe also in terms of helping us get some of the debris removed from some of these areas. That some of these areas down on Doty Island in particular have, really thick, older tree canopy. These are kind of very historic neighborhoods, older character homes, like you'd find in, certain neighborhoods in Milwaukee or Appleton. And so the tree cover with some of these massive, 100-plus-year-old oak trees has led to a situation where we've, just the amount of debris that needs to get hauled out of there is pretty astronomical.
I can't imagine. We are certainly thinking about you down here in southeastern Wisconsin. Our hearts go out to you. Thank you so much for joining us, Andrew.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's Andrew Day, the Community Development Director up in Menasha. It's 12:26. Up next, local news and your top national headlines.
Practical principles that make every dollar count. Small budget advertisers can't afford to waste one penny. It all has to go to work in the most effective and efficient way possible. Anderson Smith advertisers are setting themselves apart 24 hours a day, every day of the year. The power of the airwaves is real. You just have to know how to harness it. We'll get you deals you can't, and you'll get results that you won't without us. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results. Don't buy ad packages. Buy into a plan, even if you don't use us to do it. Because unless you're willing to sell your product or service for a lot less than what it's worth, you're setting yourself up for almost guaranteed failure. Put an ad plan together and stick to it. Tell them what sets you apart and have consistent branding so it can work for you with a snowball effect rather than just trying to make a big splash. And if you need someone who can really make your dollars work hard for you, Anderson-Smith.com. We help small business advertisers get better results.
And now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, "I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house." Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. She also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for roofing and also replacement windows, decks, and of course siding. They've done it all at the Matzik households over the years. It started with windows, transforming our 1953 Milwaukee home into something beautiful. And then, on our new house, brand new LP Smart Side siding. Built 8 years ago, our house still looks brand new. Make sure to connect with Eric about patio projects as well. They've expanded our outdoor living space to an area fit with a beautiful cedar pergola, paver patio, gas fire pit, and more. The best in lighting? I can control it from my phone. All there at Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more. Take the next step and check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited. Truly siding and a whole lot more.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max.
What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special?
The welcomeness. People are so friendly. If you have a problem, you can go to anybody. The community and the sense of safety provided for my mom and dad, and it's just like the most wonderful place to be.
They're just delightful, everyone. I don't see staff, I see friends. And I really do feel that.
And you couldn't live in more beautiful grounds.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
It's 12:30. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 31st. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, damage assessments ramp up after that tornado in the Fox Valley.
I'm Mike Spalding. Madison's former police chief resigns from his new job.
Mostly cloudy today. We have a high of 80 degrees. Rain and storms are likely tonight. It's going to be windy, too. We'll dip down to 66 degrees for the low. Rain early tomorrow, ending by the afternoon. High of 72.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Severson. President Trump at a cabinet meeting at Camp David in the past hours, taking credit for what he calls a deal with Israel and Hamas.
Nobody thought that would be possible, to disarm Hamas. That shows you how much success we're having with Iran.
Hamas says it will disarm only later if a Palestinian state is created, something Israel adamantly rejects. On Iran's military, Trump repeated it's been, his word, obliterated.
They've got some left, but soon they won't have some left.
Spain's government and local officials say about 60,000 migrants crossed the border, entering a Spanish region from Morocco in the past 24 hours. Local officials say about 48,000 have gone back voluntarily. FBI investigating a suspected Iranian cyber attack on Minnesota water systems. Officials saying hackers knocked offline dozens of water systems. Shortages caused by the Iran war led to American oil and gas companies reporting massive spring profits. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 1231.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, teams are ramping up damage assessments in the Fox Valley after a devastating EF3 tornado tore through the community on Monday. Andrew Dane is the Community Development Director for the city of Menasha. He tells Wisconsin's Midday News they've already completed more than 260 inspections.
Over 40% of those inspections, the structures were either tagged with yellow or red cards, meaning there was either some pretty moderate to severe damage to total destruction of the structures.
Dane anticipates damage assessments will continue for the next week. If you're looking to help with recovery efforts, text the word tornado to the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line. That's tornado to 855-616-1620.
If you were impacted by adverse weather, including flooding earlier this spring, there's still time for you to apply for federal assistance.
The deadline to apply for FEMA aid and SBA disaster loans is August 31st. So far, more than $44 million has been approved for nearly 16,000 residents across southeast Wisconsin impacted by the April storms. Eligible homeowners and renters, businesses, and eligible nonprofits can apply online or at a local disaster recovery center. More details are available on our website, WTMJ.com. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Former Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes resigns from his job as Chief of Police in Seattle following last weekend's deadly mass shooting near the iconic Space Needle. Barnes faced scrutiny from the media for the department's delay in getting information out about the shooting. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson.
I received and accepted the resignation of Chief Barnes. I want to thank him for his service to the city. Chief Barnes came to Seattle with a genuine belief in community policing as a philosophy. He cares deeply about this work and about this city, and I wish him the best.
Barnes' replacement also has Wisconsin ties. Andre Sale served as Chief of Police in Beloit from 2021 to 2025.
Decision Wisconsin, as State Representative Francesca Hong continues to poll as the most likely Democratic gubernatorial candidate, polling also suggesting she has the lowest chance of defeating Republican Tom Tiffany. Some Republicans have even suggested that they vote for Hong in the primary to ensure that she ends up as Tiffany's opponent in the general election. The congressman himself, though, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
No, if you're a Republican, vote in the Republican primary. There are races across Wisconsin where Republicans are on the primary ballot. Let's make sure we get the best Republicans through in the primary. That gives us a better chance to be able to win in November.
4 Democrats remain in the race ahead of the partisan primary on August 11th.
Off the pup list. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1234.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255-368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the rock-solid pre-approval guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So Accunet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified rock-solid pre-approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with Accunet's new $10,000 rock-solid seller guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Are you hosting an event, launching something new, wanting to get the word out about your part of the state? Be a featured guest on the WTMJ Experience Wisconsin show. Share your story, promote your event or business, and connect with fans all across the state. I'm John Merkier. I'd love to interview you. We reach listeners from Milwaukee to Madison, Green Bay to La Crosse, everywhere in between. It's Experience Wisconsin. Ready to shine a spotlight on your business or company? Email me, john@WTMJ.com for more information. john@WTMJ.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports desk. Some good news for the Packers and their fans. Tight end Tucker Kraft is officially off the physically unable to perform list. During training camp this morning, head coach Matt LaFleur says he's always looking for improvements from his team, and that includes from quarterback Jordan Love.
One of the things that he's been really focused and conscious of throughout the course of the offseason and on his own in the summer is just trying to play with as much balance in the pocket as he can. One thing you see from, I'd say, majority of quarterbacks in the league, when they are balanced in the pocket, they're going to be more consistent and more accurate over time.
A family night for the Packers is 1 week from today. The Brewers, meanwhile, they're out west this weekend, taking in the Los Angeles Angels in a 3-game series. Our coverage is underway at 8 o'clock tonight, right here on WTMJ.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. It's a bit of a mess, though honestly it's a little bit better than it was about a half hour ago. Here's what we have. Let's start in a very busy spot in one of our construction zones, right by American Family Field. I-94 East at Mitchell, there's a crash. We've got the right shoulder blocked because of that crash, and that's just making the backups much worse. You already had delays due to the construction, and then boom, you've got a crash. I-94 East at Mitchell Boulevard. And that's just complicating matters. So the right shoulder is blocked. Not too far away from that, I-94 West at Brewers Boulevard, the right shoulder is blocked there because you've got a car that's broken down. Speaking of broken down vehicles, out in the Brookfield area, I-94 West, very close to Highway 100, the right shoulder is blocked there. It's being reported as a broken down vehicle. Might be something more. I do see what looks like an undercover officer pulled over to the side. You definitely have some type of emergency response there, but it's not labeled, and somebody's off to the side of the road. So it might be more than a disabled vehicle. Maybe not. Maybe they're just helping. But that is creating a little bit of a slowdown as people hit the brakes just to see what's going on. Over in the Shorewood area, up by Estabrook Park, I-43 North at Capitol Drive East, right shoulder is blocked due to another car that's broken down. And also the Greenfield area, little bit slow as well at I-43 South. Couple of disabled vehicles, and also in the construction zone, it's slow.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly cloudy skies. Rain showers are moving into southeast Wisconsin, looking like Burlington, Oconomowoc getting wet right now. Those rains will continue throughout the evening today. This afternoon, though, high of 80 degrees. Overnight tonight, in addition to the rain, you'll also get some wind, a low 66. Tomorrow, rain early in the morning should come to an end by the afternoon hours, a high of 72. Sunday, mostly cloudy, breezy, high 72 degrees. Monday, sunny, 77. Tuesday, bit warmer, a bit more humid as well, a high of 80 degrees. Right now, downtown Milwaukee, it is 79 degrees at 1240.
The White House took today's cabinet meeting out of Washington to Camp David. Even more unique, they televised it. Who was watching? Any of you watching? The White House says this was the first ever televised cabinet meeting from the presidential retreat. Scott McFarland, chief Washington correspondent for the Midas Touch, is on vacation this week, so we are bringing in his colleague, White House correspondent Luke Radel. Welcome to Wisconsin's Midday News, Luke.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And yes, both Scott and the president are on a retreat today, so thank you very much for having me in his stead.
And we said we wouldn't make you guess 80s and 90s R&B hits like Scott does, and you're very grateful for that, correct?
I appreciate that very much. You want to do some early 2000s, maybe 2010s pop trivia? I got you, but yeah, you're going to lose me with the R&B.
Pop trivia. Okay, next time you fill in, we got that. We're taking notes. Let's start with this because this is kind of wild. You've got Caroline Leavitt saying, and she tweeted, I saw it this morning, this was the first ever televised cabinet meeting at Camp David. Why televise it? What message is the White House trying to send with this?
But the president has liked to televise all of his cabinet meetings. In fact, we've seen some of them go on for 2.5, even 3 hours. Today's went on an hour and 1 minute, which is a little bit on the shorter side of what they normally do, I think. Thankfully, for many of the TV and radio producers, I was glad the meeting was done in time for our conversation today. But the president likes to bring the cameras in. We've seen him do this not just in the cabinet meetings, but in the Oval Office. Basically, anywhere that he goes, he likes to have the cameras follow along so that he can talk to reporters and demonstrate a show of transparency. He's not always being transparent with his answers or being honest with his answers, but is trying to demonstrate a contrast to what we saw under the previous 4 years of President Biden, where very rarely did he take questions from reporters. And I should add, very rarely did he meet with his cabinet. In fact, I think he only had one cabinet meeting in the last year he was in office in September of 2024.
That being said, Luke, did we learn anything today from this cabinet meeting? I mean, were we expecting anything to be learned or any breaking news really to come out of this?
Well, when people hear Camp David, I think a lot of people, especially of a certain age, think back to the Camp David Accords, the historic agreements signed between Israel and Egypt back in the late 1970s. And because of all the news obviously happening still in the Middle East, the conflict still raging there in Israel and Gaza and Iran, there was some thought that maybe we would get some more details about this agreement that the president announced overnight with Hamas to disarm the Gaza Strip. And we got some of that, but really the big news that was made out of this actually had to do with a state across your border in Minnesota, to the west of you guys, where the president said that he actually didn't believe these reports that had come out this morning that Iran was responsible for attacks on water plants in Minnesota, and he instead chose to blame it on the Democratic state leadership there. Governor Tim Walz and others said that actually the state was responsible for, I guess, cyber attacking itself. Experts dispute that, but that's what the president had to say today. And that was, I think, the biggest piece of news that we saw coming out of this cabinet meeting.
Does this break tradition at Camp David, televising a cabinet meeting there? You typically hear about Camp David for things like private diplomacy and maybe a strategy session.
It does, and I think the idea of televising cabinet meetings in general goes against tradition. Usually you'd want to provide a space where your cabinet officials, your advisors, your secretaries of various departments can speak freely and candidly with you. Instead, these meetings, we've seen them sometimes turn into what some have referred to as a dear leader session, where they're each trying to one-up each other, trying to compliment the president more. We saw Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth say the president had great guts and courage to go into Iran. We saw the Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., tease that the president might not leave office at the end of his term, maybe stick around for a third term, which he can't do under the Constitution. All that is to say, it certainly breaks tradition to not have more of a substantive conversation between members of his cabinet, but this seems to be the way the president prefers it.
The other thing that came out of this, and you touched on it a little bit, about is these cyber attacks. Well, I will say just the one cyber attack in the state of Minnesota. Did the president expand on that at all? I know he placed the blame, at the feet of Governor Walz and sort of his administration, but was there any other thing that came out of this? Because when I saw it this morning, I was kind of taken aback a little bit. Wow, this is real. I guess it's kind of all of our worst fears, but it seems to be happening now. So did he have anything else about it, anything the administration's doing or DOD or anything like that?
Yeah, to your point about this being a surprise, I think there have been warnings from experts in this field about the vulnerability of this infrastructure. In many cases, it's several decades old infrastructure that's responsible for getting us all clean drinking water and just getting water flowing throughout our community. So obviously extremely important. The president didn't elaborate much on why he believed that the governor of Minnesota and the Democratic leadership in that state was responsible, beyond his usual talking points about blaming Democrats for just about everything that goes wrong in the country in his eyes. He did say that he believes that Iran has enough on its plate right now, that they wouldn't be taking the time out to target these small communities in Minnesota. But there are experts who note that this might have been a practice run for potentially, if Iran was responsible for this or any other malign foreign actor, for potentially expanding it to larger cities, larger metropolitan areas throughout the country. And then we really have a crisis on our hands.
We're talking to Luke Radel. He's the White House correspondent for Midas Touch, as our weekly regular Scott McFarland is on vacation, a much-deserved vacation this week. Luke, also wanted to ask you about this. President Trump called on senators. He just did this to immediately approve acting Attorney General Todd Blanche for the job permanently. And this came just one day after he said he might temporarily pull his nomination. Hard for people to keep up with this, basically. What should our fans know?
The problem that he has right now is a math problem. So before Todd Blanche's nomination can reach the full floor of the Senate, where 100 senators will get to vote on him, there's a smaller vote that needs to happen in a committee that is evenly split between Republicans and Democrats, with one more Republican on the committee because Republicans are in the majority. So they have the chairman in that case. The problem that President Trump has is that two of the Republicans on the Senate Judiciary Committee, the relevant committee in this case, are not supportive of moving Todd Blanche's nomination forward if the president and Todd Blanche don't put in writing that this January 6th weaponization fund, this $1.6 billion that people have probably been hearing about, that would be going towards political allies of the president, people that he claims are victims of government weaponization. Todd Blanche used to say that that's dead, that that's not moving forward. And members of Congress have also been upset with this provision in the deal that people may have also heard about, that would exempt President Trump and his family from any future IRS scrutiny. So no more audits for Trump and his family. That is something that has gotten in the craw of many senators, including two in particular, John Cornyn of Texas and Tom Tillis of North Carolina. They are both not up for re-election this year. Tom Tillis retired facing the threat of a Trump primary, and John Cornyn lost after losing to a Trump-endorsed candidate. So they have nothing to lose at this point. They're what we call YOLO Republicans down here in D.C. because they're able to spend the last few months here voting their conscience, and they've decided that this is the issue that they're going to stand their ground on.
Luke, the president also touted a breakthrough on Gaza. We only got a couple of minutes here. For those who might be completely lost in what's going on in the Middle East, what did the president say? And I guess, is there any significance to the words that he said this morning?
Yeah, you might remember back when the original ceasefire deal was struck between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip that has led to a quasi-cessation of fire. I say that because there still have been some skirmishes and attacks going back and forth between the two parties. But the president set up this so-called Board of Peace that he was the chairman of, with various regional partners, other countries in the region, to try and determine a plan for what happens, how the Gaza Strip is rebuilt after some pretty devastating attacks by the IDF. They have now come to an agreement with Hamas leadership that they will disarm. First, their police units will disarm, and then even Hamas militants will give up their personal weapons as a part of this deal. The thing that your listeners need to know is that Hamas has agreed to this, but Israel has not yet commented. So they're the other party here, and Hamas says it's only going to do that if Israel agrees to the terms, which involves Israeli forces pulling out of the Gaza Strip. That's something that Israel has been reluctant to do, fearing another October 7th attack in the future. So it remains to be seen whether President Trump and his close relationship with Israeli Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu can get the Israelis to sign on and agree to this agreement to disarm the militants of Hamas.
That's Luke Radel with Midas Touch. Great to have you here, Luke. Thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to the trivia next time.
Yes, A+. We'll bring you back. It's 12:49. Up next, Week in Review.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on Old Dutch Tortilla, Crunch, or Ripples chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 8-ounce selected varieties, Essential Everyday Shredded or Chunk Cheese, 2 for $4. Whole seedless watermelon, $3.99. Fresh 85% lean ground beef, $4.99 a pound.
It's a long fly ball.
What?
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here? Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day. I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to just live with and accept? Do not. I'm Julia Fellow with WTMJ. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to head to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens Family Chiropractic is now offering soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment. It helps your body repair itself naturally. I'm getting that done on my lower back. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, and activates your own body's repair cells to target pain at its source. If you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, do not wait another day. For a limited time, your first soft wave treatment is just $57. This is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you get back to the things you love, like it did for me. Head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
Save big money on outdoor storage when you shop at Menards. Suncast sheds have the storage space you need for any backyard. Whether you're protecting bikes and toys or storing yard tools, Suncast's selection of easy-to-assemble sheds come in a variety of styles and sizes to fit your needs. Pick up an in-stock Suncast storage shed today and check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio.
At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Old-Fashioned Roofing and Appliance Gallery. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk.
Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
A tornado sweeps through the Fox Valley. The governor's race thins. Packers training camp begins, and more.
It's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado warning for eastern Fond du Lac County.
Oh my God, we're in a tornado!
Swept through Appleton, the city of Menasha, and the village of Fox Crossing in Winnebago County.
We're unsure of how bad the damage is because many roads in those same areas are impassable.
This will go down as one of the worst tornadoes in Wisconsin history.
The power is out everywhere. We've worked collaboratively to have shelters that are up and running to provide meals and water.
We've got a big debate tomorrow night, gentlemen.
Why should Democratic primary voters choose candidate A, B, C, D, or E?
The governor cannot defund police.
I've been the candidate that has turned progressive ideas into law.
I'm not here to protect the establishment. I'm here to deliver real results for Wisconsinites.
They seem like they were very respectful of each other.
I think respectful, not nice necessarily. I think they were...
What? They seem like they liked each other.
Former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes drops out of the gubernatorial race.
So sources have been telling me for a couple of days that there is a really nasty story or two that were about to drop for him.
I wasn't seeing a path for Barnes. It's clear who the party's nominee is going to be.
We are going further into the future of Lincoln Avenue School.
My biggest concern was, where are we going to go in September?
Quite honestly, our buildings in Milwaukee Public Schools, our liabilities, the average age of our building is 85 years.
If you want to survive in a building, be in a building that has functioning sprinklers.
Dr. Rand Paul questioning Dr. Anthony Fauci about the origins of the coronavirus.
Can you explain to the committee why you chose to fund this dangerous research in China?
Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the do you think you were for doing that?
I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
One of the quotes from Dr. Fauci back in 2020 was, if we do this right, all of this will look like an overreaction.
Yeah. This Meijer grocery store, a lot of chaos unfolding. And this, Michelle, happening at a very busy time for grocery shopping.
He's running throughout the store with a knife.
Shots fired, shots fired.
Based on the suspect's actions and immediate threat he posed, one officer discharged their firearm to stop the threat of the armed suspect.
Mizorowski, Jacob Mizorowski, a dozen strikeouts for Jacob Mizorowski.
Here's the secret to throwing 103 miles an hour.
Staying in my legs, I think that's the biggest thing to it, so.
Swinging a miss, he strikes out, and that's the first career strikeout from Andrew Vaughn.
It's always fun when a position player gets to take the mound. That is when you know that, yep, it's over, we're not going to come back.
The home run derby, come on!
Training Camp Week. Thousands of shareholders gathering at Lambeau Field for the annual shareholders meeting.
They're stockholders, Bob! Who's helping them out? Lambeau Field, that's our office.
Here we are again with a kicking story that is developed.
As a kicker, there's no real competition. Now you got two guys that have never kicked in an NFL regular season game.
Where are you coming from?
The golf course.
Remember last week, former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and Burlington, Wisconsin native Tony Romo was arrested.
Any head injuries?
Over the years, yes, but not recently.
So obviously it's on a farm, and you have a chicken coop involved, but why the name The Free Range Art Show?
Because the intention was to show in the coop. We added the granary later. You know, you got the scoop in the coop. We're keeping the loop with the coop, you know, kind of.
What a week, eh?
What a week.
Big whiffer!
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
That's the Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited. It's 12:56. Local news up next.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
It's a summer of big wins with WinFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Just play with your Potawatomi Rewards card for entries and your chance to win cash and reward play all summer long. Then keep the excitement going, because all your monthly drawing entries roll over into the WinFest final drawings on September 25th, where you could win cars, dream vacations, free play, and cash. Don't miss out on WinFest, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Doing banking differently since 1896. Greg Matzik here for Horicon Bank. Think about that for a second. Over 100 years of focus on the community and your business. At Horicon Bank, financing requests can be approved in days, not weeks, because your banker understands you and your business. And yes, Horicon Bank is expanding, but they've not lost that community-minded feel. I trust Horicon Bank. I've connected with Horicon Bank, and I invite you to do the same. It's Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice, member FDIC.
Some days you watch the game. On WTMJ Day, you live it.
Back at the track,
Fire up the grill and join the WTMJ team on August 29th, for we watch the crew deliver the highlights.
We are all witnesses.
WTMJ Day is sponsored by Big Fish Contracting, Woodman's, and Left's Lucky Town.
Would you like fries with that?
We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ, WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Staying active, essential for for overall health, proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Outstanding. As we've grown tremendously and you guys have still been able to meet our needs each step of our growth, that's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Tune in Saturdays at 6 a.m. for Legally Speaking with Kirsten Hildebrand. Hildebrand Law. Legal talk without the filler and straight to the point. Miss the show? Catch the Legally Speaking podcast on WTMJ.com.
Take your family to the amazing Mineshaft restaurant in Hartford for the all-you-can-eat Wednesday and Friday haddock fish fry for $8.99. Wow. You'll pay twice that elsewhere. Desserts or buy one, get one free. Google The Mineshaft. Call and reserve your table, The Mineshaft.
Transform your home today. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Next stop, the City of Angels, where the crew is looking to raise a little hell.
Abner always capable of rolling up a double play. The pitch, ground ball, second base. Terang, Fields, flips to Pratt for one. On to first in time. Ask and ye shall receive.
The Brewers head to L.A. to take on the Angels. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's just after 1. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 31st. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, charges filed in the attack of a 99-year-old woman.
I'm Mike Spalding. Dr. Fauci facing more questions.
Mostly cloudy today. We have a high of 80 degrees. Rain and storms likely tonight. It's going to be windy, too. Get ready for that. We're going to dip down to 66 degrees for the low. It's currently 76 degrees in Milwaukee and overcast. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a man faces multiple felony charges for attacking an elderly woman. 23-year-old Joseph Macias admitted to police that he had been drinking heavily early Monday morning before he approached a home near 13th and Layton on Milwaukee's south side. Macias then attacked the 99-year-old female homeowner when she opened the door. She had to wait nearly 3 hours for police to arrive. She's still in the hospital this afternoon with serious injuries. Meanwhile, Macias could face more than 75 years in prison if convicted.
A hostage situation leading to an officer-involved shooting at a Meijer store in Waukesha. Police receiving calls from a man inside the store on Sunset Drive Thursday evening saying that he was armed with a knife and had taken a hostage. Waukesha Police Chief Dan Thompson says that officers found the suspect near a 59-year-old victim and he refused commands to drop the knife.
Based on the suspect's actions and the immediate threat he posed to the victim and the responding officers, one officer discharged their firearm to stop the threat of the armed suspect.
The 59-year-old man did have non-life-threatening injuries. It's unclear if he was hurt from the knife. The suspect is hospitalized in critical condition. A male officer with 5 years on the force was placed on administrative leave.
Calls for a reported drowning in Kenosha turned out to be false. The Kenosha Fire Department received calls yesterday afternoon that a man was seen entering Lake Michigan near the inlet of the Kenosha Harbor. A witness told emergency crews they thought the man had gone under the water and was unaccounted for. Crews searched using divers and sonar, but ultimately determined no one was missing.
Dr. Anthony Fauci now facing a new probe, this time in Florida, over the guidance that he provided during the COVID-19 pandemic. Fauci and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis did not see eye to eye on how things were handled. More from News Nation's Ryan Bass.
During this week's hearings, Republicans pointed to Fauci's private pandemic diary, where he described DeSantis as a jerk and a complete disgrace as the two battled over lockdowns and school masking. Now, before leaving office, President Biden issued Dr. Fauci a sweeping pardon covering potential federal crimes tied to his government service during the pandemic. But Governor Ron DeSantis says that doesn't prevent any state from opening up an investigation.
The probe in Florida launched after Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times during a Senate hearing regarding the COVID pandemic.
The FBI issues a warning after a cyber attack on Minnesota's water systems. Authorities say hackers knocked dozens of water systems offline and that the attacks may be linked to Iran. ABC's Matt Rivers.
What authorities are saying is that they have not definitively identified who the actor is behind these attacks. We know that roughly 36 water systems across the state of Minnesota were targeted, targeting automated systems there. We're told that the quality of drinking water in the state of Minnesota was not affected, but it is a major concern that we know that the FBI is saying that these are probably Iranian-linked actors who have gone after these water treatment systems.
The hacks in Minnesota mirror a similar pattern carried out in other states by suspected Iran-linked actors.
Time for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up 282 at 52,490. The Nasdaq's up 198 at 25,319. The S&P 500's up 42 points at 74.79. It's financial planning at every level. It's Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Details now at annexwealth.com.
The upcoming goal, get in and get out quicker. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 5 after 1.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scafidi here for QC Kinetics. When your joints hurt every day and you've been told you need surgery, do your homework. Remember, once the joint is replaced, there's no going back. Before you schedule surgery, considering getting a second opinion from QC Kinetics. Whether you're dealing with pain from bone-on-bone arthritis, a torn meniscus, or years of wear and tear, surgery isn't the only conversation you should have. Talk to Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics about how they use regenerative treatments to deliver relief to patients like you here in Greenfield and Mequon. You start with a medical evaluation, reviewing your history, any imaging, and the actual source of your pain. If you're a good candidate, they'll concentrate tiny healing tools within your body right in the spot that's actually causing the pain. The whole idea is to give you a real shot at holding off on surgery, or in some cases, avoiding it altogether. And that's why it makes sense to explore every option before making a decision that could change your life. Don't just accept surgery is your only choice. Call QC Kinetics today for a second opinion and know your options. The conversation and consultation are totally free. Call QC Kinetics at 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. That's 414-667-5559. QC Kinetics.
So, Dad, what gives with the square pizzas?
Well, Marty wanted to be different, but little did he know that he was giving everyone a real value. We figured it out. Our 12-inch square pizza covers 27% more space than a 12-inch round.
A bigger pizza and a better value.
Yep, 27% more.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
And martyspizza.net for easy online ordering.
Register online for Red Card Loyalty, and after 15 pizzas, you'll get your next one free!
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. A welcome-sighted Packers training camp today. Tight end Tucker Kraft on the field for the first time since he tore his ACL last November. Kraft was officially removed from the physically unable to perform list, was out with the team this morning. After practice, head coach Matt LaFleur discussed some of the goals he has for his team, which include being tighter in and out of the huddle.
Anytime an offense approaches the line of scrimmage, the faster they approach the line of scrimmage, the more pressure it puts on the defense. So, yeah, that was a big point of emphasis.
The Packers family night's scheduled for 1 week from today. The Brewers are out west as they begin a 3-game weekend series against the Los Angeles Angels. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 8 o'clock tonight.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic on this Friday afternoon. We do have a couple of issues I want to let you know about. Still dealing with this crash in a busy spot, I-94 West at Highway 100. Right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. I do see a number of vehicles off to the side there. Not too far from that one, I-94 West, a little bit beyond the ramp from Highway 100. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that is broken down there. We have another crash in a busy spot on the exit to 145 Fond du Lac Avenue from I-43 South. I do see delays starting to get a little bit worse there. Also in the Greenfield area, it's a bit of a mess as well. You got a couple of disabled vehicles that are just slowing things down. We'll keep an eye on the crashes and let you know if anything changes.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Hurt at work? Call Tayback for the payback. An injury at work may leave you eligible for compensation benefits, including lost wages, coverage of medical bills, or a cash settlement. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly cloudy skies early this afternoon. Rain showers moving into southeast Wisconsin. Areas in Kenosha County, Racine County. Looking at southern Milwaukee County as well. Oconomowoc getting some rain as we speak. Those rain showers will continue throughout the afternoon into the evening. Overnight tonight, windy, a low 66. Tomorrow, rain showers in the morning. Should come to an end by the afternoon, a high 72. Sunday, partly cloudy, breezy, high 72 degrees. Monday, mostly sunny, 77. Tuesday, bit warmer, bit more humid, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, it is 79 degrees at 110.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Matzek, it's Mike Spalding.
Happy Friday, everybody. Doesn't it kind of feel like we needed an overcast day?
Yes.
We had the storms on Monday that were so devastating, especially up in the Fox Valley. Then we had the sun and the heat. It just kind of feels like this is okay.
I might be controversial. I enjoy the cooler weather. Like cool, overcast, mid-70s is like my happy place.
Okay, I think a lot of people would agree with you about the cool weather. Good. Overcast, though, I don't know about that.
I don't need the sun all the time.
Okay, it kind of fits over you. So if you're walking around like in a cartoon, you'd have like the little cloud above?
Yes, I would, yes.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Mike. Greg will be back with us on Monday.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, the Wisconsin National Guard will be up in the Fox Valley this weekend. The Guard plans to support local authorities with recovery efforts after Monday's EF3 tornado. Expect to see military vehicles driving down some of the hardest hit streets. And also note, activated Guard members will be wearing military vests. Today is day 2 of inspections in Menasha. Teams are going building to building, looking at damage and deciding whether the buildings are safe, restricted, or not safe at all. Andrew Dane is the Community Development Director in Menasha, and we talked to him just minutes ago, right here in Wisconsin's Midday News.
We did 267 inspections, and we found that over 40% of those inspections, the structures were either tagged with yellow or red cards, meaning there was either some pretty moderate to severe damage to total destruction of the structures. So initial results we're getting back are fairly damaging impacts. Today's day 2. We've got another large group of inspectors out hitting the road, and we'll have a much better sense after today kind of what some of the damage looks like.
The inspection teams have a form they're filling out as they inspect the storm-damaged buildings. Dane sent it to me. I was taking a peek at it. They basically estimate how much of a building is affected and identify hazards like structural instability, falling debris, and leaning trees in the yards. And based on the inspection, they decide whether that building or home is safe.
Some big news out of Camp David this afternoon, and no, not the fact that a cabinet meeting was televised from there for the first time ever. President Trump, after that meeting, announced that U.S. negotiators have reached a deal with Hamas in order for that organization to lay down its weapons and relinquish its control over Gaza. U.S. officials who briefed reporters late last night said that Hamas had agreed to disarm and transfer power in Gaza so long as Israel withdraws from the Strip. President Trump addressed reporters following that cabinet meeting.
Nobody thought that would be possible, to disarm Hamas. That shows you how much success we're having with Iran. Because if you go 4 months ago, 5 months ago, a deal like that would have been impossible. So it's a big step for the Middle East.
Yeah, the president also discussed the ongoing war with Iran, also touched on the cyber attack that is affecting the water system in Minnesota. Caroline Leavitt said that, Jessica, they thought it would be a, quote, lot of fun for cabinet members.
Not just fun, a lot of fun?
A lot of fun. It didn't seem like it was a lot of fun. Also not sure how many people watched it, but certainly a first, as we know the president loves having TV cameras around him, and I guess they did a thing today.
They did a thing, and it was unique. All right. Number 3, good news for Packers fans. Tight end Tucker Kraft is back. Head coach Matt LaFleur announced the development before practice today. Kraft is activated. He's off the PUP list after tearing the ACL in his right knee back in November. That was a game against Carolina. Kraft is set to practice today, but don't expect him to go all in. He's going to be practicing on a limited basis, and that's probably a good thing. Step it up to being with the team and doing it all.
Yeah, it's been about 9 months since he initially injured that knee. I think Packers have rules about how long they want to wait for their players to do like full contact practices, but there was quite the cheer, some clapping when he ran out on the field. People, I think, were very excited to see Tucker Kraft.
Good news. This timeline means his chances of playing in Week 1 are going up. And we love that because Kraft emerged as one of the NFL's top tight ends before that injury last year. Coming up, could a drone stop the next school shooter? Some schools are betting on it. The CEO behind a new system that can fly 50 miles per hour, ram a suspect, and spray pepper gel joins us next. It's 1:15.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40 and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
So I know I just said that I love cooler, cloudier weather, but not every day. That's not the case all the time for me. One of those sunny days I'm hoping is Saturday, August 29th. Do you know why that is?
Baseball Day, WTMJ Day.
WTMJ Day at the Brewers game. So we did it last year. We were out there. We were hanging out with fans. We were tailgating. I think we were grilling brats on that day, handing out drinks. Seeing you dedicated a day to the WTMJ fan with your Milwaukee Brewers. We'll bring it back again this year. WTMJ Day will be on August 29th. It is a game against the Texas Rangers. You can purchase a ticket for WTMJ Day, which gets you into the ball game itself, as well as into our exclusive tailgating experience with WTMJ talent, including Jessica Ty, who's sitting right next to me right now.
I did grill some brats last year.
You did grill some brats. They were great. This year, though, we won't be cooking because it's catered by Left's Lucky Town. We would also like to thank our other sponsors with Woodman's as well for putting this on, and Big Fish Contracting for helping us put this on. Again, a day dedicated to the fan. You can find your tickets right now at WTMJday.com. They will sell out fast, so go ahead and sign up today. Again, that's WTMJday.com, Saturday, October 29th. WTMJ and you with the Brewers.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
I'm Libby Collins. This week on WTMJ Conversations, we talk with Dr. Ali Kriowski-Manella about menopause.
Other people call someone a crazy old lady, but if
you feel inside yourself that you're a wise old woman, then you actually just don't care if people think you're a crazy old lady. I think I'm funny and I'm not really concerned, then it just like changes your perspective.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ.
When schools talk about preparing for an active shooter, the conversation usually centers on locked doors, metal detectors, and resource officers. Now, a new technology is entering the debate. Some schools are deploying drones designed to confront an armed attacker before police ever get there. They can fly up to 50 miles per hour, flash strobe lights, sound sirens, and even spray pepper gel. Supporters say they could buy precious seconds and save lives, but critics question whether a remotely operated drone could mistake the wrong person for a threat, and whether schools should be spending money on this instead of prevention. The CEO of Campus Guardian Angel, Justin Marston, joins us live. Great to have you, Justin.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
We're going to put video of these drones up on our live feed. You can text WATCH to the WTMJ Talk and Text line to see what happens when these drones are deployed. Justin, can you describe the capabilities of the Campus Guardian Angel? What can the drones do and how fast can they do it?
Yeah, sure. So the drones are all piloted by humans, and we can pilot them from 1,000 miles away from the drone. So we put the drones in the school, and our goal is to respond in 5 seconds, be on in the shooter in 15 seconds, and then degrade or incapacitate in 60 seconds. The drones can fly outside up to 100 miles an hour. Inside, we wouldn't be going that fast, but they still go, we can get up to 60 miles an hour if we need to. They have strobes and sirens. And so our first step is to kind of distract and try and see if we can get the person to give up. Then if that doesn't work, then we have a pepper spray that we use that comes out as kind of like a gel and can make it very hard for that person to see anything. It's temporary, but it's pretty nasty when you get it on your face. And then ultimately, if they really don't want to surrender, which is incredibly unlikely to be quite honest, but if they don't, then we can hit them at speed, and it's less lethal, but it's very effective at getting somebody on the ground instead of letting them kill children.
Justin, I'm really interested in some of this drone technology and want to get into it, but I wanted to ask you, is there something in your background that inspired you to get involved with something like this or to get something like this off the ground?
Uvalde happened in Texas. I've lived in Austin for 20 years now. And, mass shootings is not something I grew up with as a kid. As you can probably tell from my accent, I'm not from around here. And, there really weren't any when I was a kid where I grew up. But it is a problem here. And Uvalde, Parkland, a lot of these shootings, a lot of things went wrong. And so the inspiration was really saying, hey, most of the death happens in the first 120 seconds. How can we get something that is instantaneous, but is elite every time? And the only way I can think of doing that is to, use robots and centralize the talent in one place. You can't put a SWAT team in every parking lot of every school in Wisconsin, but you could put drones in every school and then, fly them remotely from Austin. And it would be like having a SWAT team in the parking lot of every school. You hope you never need it. I hope that we just look like an air conditioning box on the ceiling and the kids never see a drone. But if the worst does happen, as a parent protecting my kids, I would want the most elite capability possible to be there to try and save their lives.
One of the biggest concerns from some parents as I look around the country as this is starting to make waves and people are hearing about it is misidentification. How do you make sure you're targeting the actual shooter and not, say, a teacher or a student or even an armed police officer who is eventually responding to the scene?
Yeah, it's a great question. So blue on blue is a real problem when you have responding police officers. Because, that person's life is on the line as a responding officer. Their only weapon is a lethal weapon. And they may not have had as many training reps and as much practice as they would have wanted to have done if, they're an officer in a school. So my co-founder was in the Navy SEALs for 32 years, has done hundreds of tactical entries overseas. We have another guy who's an Austin SWAT Hall of Famer in Austin PD, and again has done hundreds of tactical entries from domestically here in America. And those are the people that I want to be trying to tell the difference between a plainclothes police officer, a regular police officer, and a threat. So we aren't using AI to somehow magically tell that. We have people who have decades of experience doing exactly this hundreds and hundreds of times. They are commanding our pilots, and we have 5 of the top 10 drone racing pilots in the nation in our team, and telling them what to do. And we start off with relatively, innocuous effects like the strobe and the siren and escalate, whereas the only kind of thing that an armed officer can do is to shoot them. So you have to say, like, what are you comparing it to? And whenever we show this to police officers, it is kind of like we invented electricity, because we can take longer in evaluating the target. We don't care if we get shot because we're a lump of plastic. We're using less lethal effects, and we have incredible talent, that we share across thousands of sites that we see ourselves ending up protecting.
Justin, have you guys had to deploy one of these yet? Like, have we seen one of these in action? And if so, how did it go?
So we haven't done a response to a real shooter yet. And frankly, I hope we never do. There is a deterrent factor to this. If you're a kid and you're thinking about going into school and shooting up the school and having your moment of power or whatever is going through your brain, if you know you're going to be hunted in 10 seconds, and then you're going to be, running around scared, you're going to look like an idiot, you're going to be in a lot of pain, probably not going to die, you're going to get carried out on a stretcher and put in the justice system, maybe you just do something else. I mean, that would be amazing. Like, if we never deploy this because nobody's dumb enough to try, fantastic. And nobody tries arson in schools anymore because sprinkler systems take the fun out of it. Like, it doesn't work. You never get any far. So so I would say, that, but we have done joint exercises, not just demonstrations, but joint tactics exercises with the FBI and with Bernie School District. And there, we found the shooter outside in 10 seconds. We blew up the whole exercise because he didn't even get indoors to try and, they had all these people with bits of red paper on them waiting to say they'd been shot. And then we found the shooter inside in 35 seconds, and it took the police 10 minutes in a 300,000 square foot high school. Similarly, we did a demonstration with a big oil and gas company, and we found the threat in 15 seconds on the first run and 9 seconds on the second run. So the speed of these things is compelling, but we do want to see, additional independent studies. And to do that, we're partnering with the University of Florida, Texas State University are going to do a joint shared methods, independent academic study on this over the coming months and look at hundreds of scenario role plays and see how it works when we are with the officer versus how it works when the officer is just by themselves. And, how much faster do we get first contact with the threat? And then how often do we save the officer's life because we're taking all the risk rather than asking a human to put themselves in that room as the first line of defense.
We're coming up quickly to national news here, but I think this is important. I want to bring this home. We're talking to the CEO of Campus Guardian Angel. It's basically this new drone that some schools around the country are starting to buy. In case they ever have a school shooting, they could deploy this and stop it. Justin, in 2024, we had a school shooting here in Wisconsin. It happened at Abundant Life Christian School in Madison. A 15-year-old student shot and killed another student and a teacher. Even more people were hurt. The shooter then shot and killed herself. The shooting happened in a study hall classroom. It was full of students. This is a small school. They don't have a lot of money to spend on things like metal detectors, so there were no metal detectors, no school resource officers. If one of your drones had been there that day, I know you weren't there, but when you look at situations like this, and I imagine that you have studied school shootings across the country, what could have been different?
Yeah, so we aren't putting one drone in. We're typically putting 30 to 60 drones in the school, and we're going in waves of 3. So it's not like we put all of our trust in one of them. We distribute them in boxes throughout the school. So no matter where the person pulled the guns out of the bag, we can get there in 15 seconds. We have looked at Uvalde. I mean, in Uvalde, the guy would never have made it in the building. I mean, he was on the teacher was on the phone to 911 for 2.5 to 3 minutes. We would have taken that guy outside. He'd never got in the building. And then, I think in Parkland, Max Schachter had said when he lost his son at Parkland, and when he first saw this in the first demonstration, he said he thought we would have saved everyone. I don't know if we'd have got everyone, but we'd have certainly got the vast majority. So it really depends how long the shooting takes. Like if somebody pulls a gun out of their bag, shoots somebody else, shoots themselves in the head, and it's all over in 3 seconds, I haven't invented sort of the Minority Report, so we don't have that yet. We'll keep working on it, but it's impossible to intervene in that amount of time. But most of these mass shootings, they take about 1 to 2 minutes. And so there, I do think we can make a decisive difference. And it's why our goal, we can't stop every shooting, but our goal is to eradicate mass shootings in schools by not giving these kids enough time to kill enough people to classify as a mass shooting. And when the glory of that goes away, because a lot of them fantasize about Columbine and these other shootings, when that opportunity isn't there, we believe that the schools are a lot harder target and they're less attractive for these lunatics to go and try and shoot at. So I think the vast majority of shootings we've looked at that are mass shootings, we believe we would have saved lives, and other people around those events, not just us, the parents, responding officers, they have told us they think we would have saved lives.
I'm interested to see how far this goes and whether any Wisconsin schools will decide to buy the product. That is Justin, the CEO of Campus Guardian Angel. Thanks so much for joining us today, Justin.
Thank you.
Local news up next.
For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. Curative helps families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood, connecting parents with resources, providing guidance during challenging times, and creating a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org today.
Summer is the time to enjoy the outside. Enjoy the deck, the patio, the fire pit, the shade, the screen room, the in-ground pool. Enjoy all of it in your own backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's top TimberTech decking installer and can deliver a design and build your next maintenance-free deck with a custom screen room and automated pergola. Stop by our Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha or visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Hey, it's the weekend. Take your family and guests to the Fox and Hounds, the up north, timbered, beautiful supper club near Holy Hill. John Mercure here. I love the Fox and Hounds. The Friday haddock fish fry is all you can eat and one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. The pan-fried walleye, the honey glazed salmon, the shrimp and scallop stir fry, surf and turf, your favorite steak or pasta, any entree, all buy one, get one free. Relax with a cocktail on that patio in the woods. The views are incredible. Then dinner in one of the 8 dining rooms. Serving Saturday lunch from 11 till 2. I highly recommend the award-winning Sunday all-you-care-to-eat brunch. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167 near Holy Hill. The summer drive is a must-see. Tables are open. Google, call, reserve. Enjoy a free world-class dinner this weekend at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, serving from 4 p.m. Dine early at the Fox and Hounds.
Save big money on ideal garage doors. Now at Menards. Replacing your garage door adds instant curb appeal and value to your home. It's the #1 home improvement project for return on investment. From traditional to modern styles, choose from our huge in-stock selection or design your own garage door in-store or on Menards.com. Plus, don't forget to view the weekly flyer and check out all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry from Point Taken on 620 WTMJ. You know, in radio, people hear your voice first. But when I'm out in the community, meeting listeners or hosting events, I'm told that my smile is my signature. That's why I trust Dr. James Michaels and the team at Economwalk Dental Care with My Smile. And yes, I drive all the way from Milwaukee to Oconomowoc to see Dr. Michaels and his incredible staff. Because when you find a dental team that makes you feel comfortable, listened to, and cared for, that drive is worth it. Dr. Michaels has been practicing in Oconomowoc for more than 25 years, and his approach is simple. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Whether you're due for a cleaning, thinking about cosmetic options, or just need a dental home where you feel at ease, call Oconomowoc Dental Care at 262-567-7224. That's 262-567-7224, or visit drmichaelsdentalcare.com. Oconomowoc Dental Care with Dr. James Michaels, the team I trust with my smile.
It's just after 1:30. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 31st. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, a closer look at the tornado damage in the Fox Valley.
I'm Mike Spalding. Do endorsements make a race?
Mostly cloudy today. We have a high of 80 degrees. Rain and storms are likely tonight. It's going to be windy, too. In fact, we might see the rain coming up here pretty quickly. Not raining yet in Milwaukee. Some of you are seeing it, though. It's going to be windy tonight as well. We'll dip down to 66 degrees for the low. Tomorrow, rain early, but it should be done by the afternoon. We'll see a high of 72 degrees tomorrow. We're actually taking a dip in our temps right now in Milwaukee. We're now down to 75 degrees in the city and overcast. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, damage assessments continue across the Fox Valley in the aftermath of an EF3 tornado. City of Menasha Community Development Director Andrew Dane tells Wisconsin's Midday News many structures have significant damage.
A lot of broken windows, a lot of torn off siding, a lot of garages. You'd be amazed at how many garages just flew out of people's yards or got moved, 10, 15 feet or ended up in the neighbor's backyard.
Crews are working to remove debris from the road so utilities can be restored. For ways you can help, text the word tornado to the WTMJ Sounding Unlimited talk and text line. That's tornado to 855-616-1620.
Decision Wisconsin, 12 days away from the partisan primary election here in Wisconsin. And endorsements could end up playing a larger role in the race than we had previously thought. President Donald Trump endorsing Republican Congressman Tom Tiffany, while Governor Evers has put his name behind Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley. UW La Crosse political science professor Anthony Chergosky telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Evers' endorsement is an endorsement that I think all candidates would have loved to have. On its own, it's not enough. You have to make voters aware of it. You get Evers on the trail, get him cutting an ad, and then you're on the right track. But at this point, Crowley is just struggling to even develop that basic voter awareness of the endorsement.
There are now just 4 candidates running in the Democratic nomination. This after former Lieutenant Governor Mandela Barnes dropped out of the race on Thursday. The winner of the partisan primary on August 11th will face likely Republican candidate Congressman Tom Tiffany in November's general election.
Former Madison Police Chief Sean Barnes resigns as Chief of Police in Seattle after last weekend's deadly mass shooting near the iconic Space Needle. Barnes faced scrutiny from the media this week for the department's delay in getting information out to the public. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson.
I received and accepted the resignation of Chief Barnes. I want to thank him for his service to the city. Chief Barnes came to Seattle with a genuine belief in community policing as a philosophy. He cares deeply about this work and about this city, and I wish him the best.
Barnes' replacement also has Wisconsin ties. He served as chief of police in Beloit from 2021 to 2025.
CBS football broadcaster Tony Romo is on administrative leave now, this following his arrest last week in Milwaukee on suspicion of operating while intoxicated.
The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback and Burlington, Wisconsin native will be on leave from his role at CBS Sports until further notice. The move follows deputies pulling Romo over on I-43 and his subsequent poor performance on standardized field sobriety tests last week.
Did I pass this test?
You turn around.
No, I didn't.
Romo's court date is scheduled for September 21st. Meanwhile, another Wisconsin native will take Romo's place on CBS's upcoming NFL broadcasts. Former Badger J.J. Watt will serve in the color commentator role alongside Jim Nantz. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:37.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's been more than 3 years, and I'm telling you, my garage doors from J.D. Griffiths still look brand new. They pop. J.D. Griffiths has been installing garage doors and building detached garages for decades. And right now, J.D. Griffiths wants to do something for you. The first 10 people to go to the website and mention WTMJ can get $100 off a garage renovation, $100 off a new door, or $500 toward a new garage build. Go to jdgriffiths.com/WTMJ right now.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
Have you been living with pain and just assuming it's something you have to just live with and accept? Do not. I'm Julia Fellow with WTMJ. If chronic pain is keeping you from enjoying life, I want you to head to Jens Family Chiropractic in Germantown. Jens Family Chiropractic is now offering soft wave tissue regeneration therapy. It's an advanced, non-invasive treatment. It helps your body repair itself naturally. I'm getting that done on my lower back. Soft wave stimulates healing, improves blood flow, and activates your own body's repair cells to target pain at its source. If you're dealing with knee pain, shoulder pain, back pain, do not wait another day. For a limited time, your first soft wave treatment is just $57. This is an incredible opportunity to find out if this breakthrough therapy can help you get back to the things you love, like it did for me. Head to jensfamilychiropractic.com. That's YENTZ familychiropractic.com. Regenerate, recover, live pain-free at jensfamilychiropractic.com.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy. Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, That's All Sports desk. A welcome sight on the field at Green Bay Packers practice today, that being tight end Tucker Kraft running at full speed on that surgically repaired knee. Kraft was officially removed from the physically unable to perform list. He's been dealing with the rehab of a torn ACL since last November. After training camp this morning, Coach Matt LaFleur said he's always looking for ways to improve the team, and that includes growing and improving quarterback Jordan Love.
One of the things that he's been really focused and conscious of throughout the course of the offseason and on his own in the summer is just trying to play with as much balance in the pocket as he can. One thing you see from, I'd say, majority of quarterbacks in the league, when they are balanced in the pocket, they're going to be more consistent and more accurate over time.
And family night for the Packers is set for 1 week from today. The Brewers back in action tonight. They're out in Los Angeles taking on the Angels in a 3-game weekend series. Our coverage starts at 8 p.m. right here on WTMJ.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Unfortunately, we've got a new crash I want to let you know about. This happened just minutes ago in Waukesha County. It doesn't look great. I-94 East at the ramp from County C, the right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. I just pulled up the cameras in that area. I'm starting to see a significant slowdown because of this. Emergency responders are at the scene. I see at least one right now, and it looks like the car is actually off the interstate, off to the side of the road, possibly. Looks like in the grass or the dirty median at that point. Traffic is going very, very slow. Once again, this is a brand new crash. We'll keep our eyes on it. I-94 East at the ramp from County C. The right shoulder is blocked, and you've got a car that is off the interstate. Time to check in with our friends over at Storm Team 4. We've got Jacob Montesano up on the deck right now. And Jacob, we were saying earlier, it just feels like we needed a day like this. After Monday and the terrible damage from the tornadoes, then you had some hot days in the mix. An overcast day with a little bit of rain and cooler weather doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need the rainfall, although once the rain does start, which it should start probably in another hour, maybe two, the rain, I'm looking at the radar right now, it's just taking its sweet time moving from west to east. But, I mean, once it does start, it isn't probably going to stop, at least on a consistent level, until tomorrow afternoon. Thankfully, though, this is not expected to be anything severe, and it'll just be a regular, some showers, maybe some heavy rain and isolated thunderstorms, but that consistent rain is going to be mostly harmless, and especially considering how much we do need the rainfall even after Monday.
We get a couple of decent days this weekend. I know Saturday, tomorrow morning, it's going to be a little bit rainy, but otherwise kind of cloudy and cool. Looking into next week, are we expecting another warm up, or are we kind of able to put away the intense humidity and intense heat for a little while?
It definitely putting away that intense heat and humidity. Right now, the weekend is looking very unseasonable for this time of year in the sense that high temperatures are going to be in the lower 70s for both days. Now, as you mentioned, Saturday, the rain that's moving in, it's going to continue into Saturday morning, maybe even into Saturday afternoon. Still not going to see it completely clear out for most of the day. But Sunday, temperatures, again, lower 70s for both days. Sunday, though, we're expecting a lot of sunshine in the afternoon on top of those lower 70s. So if you're a fan of some cooler air, Sunday is looking very, very nice. And even after that, it will definitely warm up a little bit. But over the next 7 days, the warm days are only going to feature highs near 80 degrees. So it's really not looking too hot by any means. And on top of the nice weather Sunday and Monday, it also will be following this much needed rainfall. So things may just look a little bit greener than what they have been.
As we wait for the rain here in the Milwaukee area, who is seeing rain right now? Because I know we had one of our fans, Janet, wrote in light rain in Ixonia. That was about 20 minutes ago or so.
Yeah, basically it's going on a line kind of north-south, although it's a slight tilt northwest to southeast. So right now, Kenosha is just seeing the rain. Looks like Waukesha is just seeing the rain. Probably been raining in Oconomowoc for like 20 to 30 minutes. Still dry in Racine, Milwaukee, West Bend, Fond du Lac, Sheboygan. But from there, everyone west and south of those locations probably seeing some rain right now. I know my wife at my house in Waukesha said still no rain, and that was about 15 minutes ago. But it's like right over. It's like just now entering Waukesha. But again, all of this is pretty light anyway, and everyone will certainly see it at some point this afternoon and evening.
So you're saying you trained your wife well? She's sending in reports.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta love when the family does that. What about the wind, too? Because I'm thinking some people might be thinking, okay, we need the rain. My flowers could use some rain. Maybe, I know we're growing some herbs and some peppers out on our patio. They could use some rain, but I'm also a little concerned about the wind. Is that something we need to be concerned about for tonight?
It's definitely could get a little bit breezy over the weekend, but I actually don't expect to see too much strong winds. I mean, in general, you don't really see regular strong wind days over the summertime, unless, of course, you have a thunderstorm with it. So it might get a little breezy, but certainly nothing to worry about, I'd say. Like I said, the wind will keep the temperatures cool, but we're not expecting a big wind event out of this.
All right. We appreciate it. Thanks so much, Jacob. I know you've had a long week, and we appreciate all the hard work and keeping everybody safe.
Thank you so much.
It's 1:45. Coming up, a big change at the Racine Zoo.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Many of us struggle to lose weight. I use Milwaukee Weight Loss to lose the weight I've wanted to lose for a long time. And the great thing is I've kept it off now for over a year. Lost 45 pounds last year, another almost 10 pounds this year with a goal of losing maybe 10 more. For a limited time, get $200 off of their summer special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. I can do it. You can do it. We can all do it. Let's lose weight together. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Don't think twice.
Call Dice.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with a new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geiss's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geissdoors.com. Geiss has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geiss at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geiss. Visit them online at geissdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Dice.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests. That's WTMJ.com/contests.
We always hate to hear this news, but it's something you want to pass along too, because so many people go to the zoo and then they have their favorite animals and the kids. I mean, the lions, the tigers, the bears, right? The Racine Zoo is mourning the loss of one of its most beloved animals. The zoo's 19-year-old Amur tiger has died. Changbai's health rapidly declined this summer. And you might remember this tiger arrived in Racine in 2023. And here's the thing, she significantly outlived the typical lifespan of wild Amur tigers and became a fan favorite. According to the zoo, she had a playful personality. She was fiercely independent. And I love this part. She had a habit of stalking her keepers in hopes of getting a snack.
Who among us?
That's a smart tiger. The zoo says it made the difficult decision to humanely euthanize the tiger, and she passed peacefully, surrounded by the keepers who cared for her. And that's always a big deal. I mean, no matter what type of animal at the zoo, I mean, these are like family members to these zookeepers, and especially a tiger.
Well, yeah, and if you're around them every day, it's like a pet, and you can see them, they'll like shake hands and do paw and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was just looking at the press release that just came in from the zoo, and kind of cool. She was even featured in this Nat Geo program, Secrets of the Zoo, while she was at the Columbus Zoo. And Changbai served as a wildlife ambassador in 4 different AZA accredited zoos, they say, displaying the true beauty and power of her wild counterparts. But 19 years and 2 months old. That's going to be a bummer for the kiddos, though, when they go to the Racine Zoo and they're looking. A lot of them are going to say that was their favorite animal at the zoo.
Yeah, the tiger is probably up there, right? There's always like the bear. When I was a kid in St. Louis, the polar bear was always a big one. The elephant was another big one, and the tiger was always up there. If you can catch a glimpse of them as they like walk up and down or roar when they're hungry, it's always very cool.
The zebras too are pretty cool. Or the monkeys bouncing around,
love a good monkey.
Jumping around from
love
spot
a good
to
zoo.
spot.
I love a good zoo visit.
Oh, I love it. It's 1:51. We're back after this.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Comfort Awnings. My motorized retractable awning is already saving me from that hot summer sun. I love that I can enjoy my patio year-round thanks to Comfort Awnings. I just retract it when I want the sun and extend it when I need the shade. Comfort Awnings even come equipped with sensors that detect rain and strong winds. This year, reclaim your outdoor space for your friends and family to enjoy every season Wisconsin has to offer. Right now, get $250 off any awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com to learn more.
It's a summer of big wins with WinFest at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Just play with your Potawatomi rewards card for entries and your chance to win cash and reward play all summer long. Then keep the excitement going because all your monthly drawing entries roll over into the WinFest final drawings on September 25th, where you could win cars, dream vacations, free play, and cash. Don't miss out on WinFest only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi. Have you listened to WTMJ Outdoors yet? Well, what are you waiting for? Every Saturday at 2 right here on 620 WTMJ. Stories of the outdoors of Wisconsin and beyond as we celebrate everything in recreation. This week and every week on WTMJ Outdoors, you have an idea for a guest or a topic, send them my way. Easy way to do that. Email me at steve.scafidi@WTMJ.com. We'll get them on.
It's WTMJ Outdoors, presented by Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Milwaukee is a flagship city for a nationwide after-school and summer program that's filling a void in music education, thanks to a big name in American rock music. On most days after school, Milwaukee area high school student AJ heads to a recording studio, lined with a wallpaper collage of music posters and guitars hanging on the wall, with colorful neon lights glowing from recording rooms.
They taught me how to play guitar, piano, drums, how to work production, how to record my own music, and it's been several months now, and I think I got pretty good at it.
These music lessons and the studio are all supported by the drummer of the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Chad Smith.
It's really a way for kids to be exposed to music. If it wasn't for me being able to do that way back when I was in high school, I probably wouldn't be drumming and playing the drums like I am.
He chose Milwaukee to found the Chad Smith Foundation and be the launch city for its after-school music program.
What we found out with the model was obviously places to play, really important, instruments, really important. We have those two. It was finding the teachers. That's the glue, to have teachers that will show up, be consistent.
The foundation is run as a family. His nephew Lewis Smith is executive director.
We're always trying to encourage more continuity because you see music programs arrive, but then without that really sustainability, both from people attending and instructors giving the lessons, it really can fall apart.
The foundation collaborates with Notes for Notes, a nonprofit that builds recording studios and fills them with instruments and instructors. Smith works to bring these resources to several Milwaukee area organizations with youth programming.
It's a resource that was not here before. And in a time where many schools are cutting funding in this area, or just never had, that type of programming anyway.
Dawn Barnett is the co-executive director of one of those organizations, Running Rebels.
Anytime a young person is involved in something that they want to do and they look forward to doing, that puts a different element on their life. That means they're less likely to engage in things that will take them away from being able to do their goal.
Program specialist and producer Kevin Christensen is one of the instructors.
It's not top-down learning, it's bottom-up learning. Oftentimes they'll come to me with a suggestion of, I want to learn this song, or I want to be able to do this. And then it's about getting there together.
That can look like starting with the basics, with one-on-one instructor time.
Whether it's playing a basic beat on drums, or finding a chord that you can play on guitar with only one finger. That's really the hook of being able to get them involved and get them connecting to music early and often.
High school senior Ty has used the program to finish his first EP.
I kind of just got to the point where it was like about the artistry for me. I kind of made this EP for myself, and I kind of felt like those who gravitated towards it, they would naturally. So I kind of just added a little bit of everything with this EP.
Ty is a leader of tomorrow in the Running Rebels program. He's become a mentor for some of the younger kids.
It's kind of became the groundwork of the man that I wanted to become. I feel that every young man and every young girl should be in some type of programming. We try to make sure that even if this may not be your thing, you give it a try. You don't knock it until you try it.
Smith says the program is designed to keep kids coming back week after week. He says they've structured it so young musicians can work towards different levels of perks.
Some are fun and very local, like, they get free lunch, but then we also like to come in with our musical touch, and hey, if you become proficient at a Red Hot Chili Peppers song, we'll give you a Red Hot Chili Peppers t-shirt. Or if you become a certain level of proficient or do enough lessons, you have the ability to perform at a recital for your other classmates or parents, or even work all the way up to performing at Summerfest and getting to have a conversation with Chad.
For AJ, the experience has had a direct influence on his post-high school plans.
I want to take music classes at Full Sail University, something that I kind of really want to use as a career in my life now. I think they've showed me that.
I'm Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Accident Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accident Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the Rock Solid Pre-Approval Guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So AccuNet is now guaranteeing in writing to pay the seller 10,000 American bucks if we can't make good on the terms of your fully verified Rock Solid Pre-Approval. Banks don't do that. We're willing to stand behind our work and stand behind you with a $10,000 guarantee that sellers will definitely notice. Maybe you've been writing offers and losing, which feels terrible, or maybe you're just starting out. Either way, don't settle for a flimsy bank pre-approval and let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Give the seller 10,000 reasons to say yes to your offer with AccuNet's new $10,000 Rock Solid Seller Guarantee. Get started with yours today at accunet.com.
Every child in foster care deserves someone who believes in them. That's why La Causa is looking for more foster parents.
They never really checked on me, and that's why I appreciate La Causa tremendously, because they were the ones that showed me we care. I met my La Causa team, all brilliant people, and people that wanted to see me succeed.
That kind of care can change a life. Learn how you can become a foster parent with La Causa at lacausa.org.
No matter where you hear WTMJ, whether it be here.
So we are overlooking the bay. We're in the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studios.
Or there.
Here live in our Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Catch us at home or on the go. Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
In the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin podcast studio.
We are live wherever you are, on the air and on the go. The Pella Windows and Doors podcast studio is live on WTMJ.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Next stop, the City of Angels, where the crew is looking to raise a little hell.
Abner always capable of rolling up a double play. The pitch, ground ball, second base. Terang, Fields, flips to Pratt for one. On to first in time. Ask and ye shall receive.
The Brewers head to L.A. to take on the Angels. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 8. Don't miss a pitch on the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 2 o'clock. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 31st. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, back open for business after a police shooting.
I'm Mike Spalding. Tornado cleanup continues in the Fox Valley.
Mostly cloudy today. Some of you are seeing rain, others about to see it. We have a high of 80 degrees. Rain and storms likely tonight. It's going to be windy too. We'll go down to 66 degrees for the low. Tomorrow, rain in the morning. High of 72. It's currently 75 degrees in Milwaukee and overcast. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, damage assessments continue across the Fox Valley in the aftermath of an EF3 tornado. City of Menasha Community Development Director Andrew Dane tells Wisconsin's Midday News many structures have significant damage.
A lot of broken windows, a lot of ripped off, torn off siding, a lot of garages. You'd be amazed at how many garages just flew out of people's yards or got moved, 10, 15 feet or ended up in the neighbor's backyard.
Crews are working to remove debris from the roads so utilities can be restored. For ways you can help, text the word tornado to the WTMJ Saudi Unlimited talk and text line. That's tornado to 855-616-1620.
The Meyer store in Waukesha back open today. This after a hostage situation last night ended in a police-involved shooting.
The situation started with a phone call from a man who Waukesha Police Chief Dan Thompson says has a history of contact with local police.
The caller, an adult male, stated that he was armed with a knife, had taken a hostage, and demanded to speak with the hostage negotiator.
Police found him near a 59-year-old victim inside the store and say he refused commands to drop the knife. An officer then shot him. The 59-year-old man had non-life-threatening injuries, and the suspect is in critical condition. A male officer with 5 years on the force was placed on administrative leave. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
The Milwaukee Common Council just passed legislation to maximize fines for businesses selling illegal substances to minors. That includes alcohol, tobacco, nicotine, and products containing THC. Alderman Peter Bergelis.
This strengthens enforcement against retailers who violate child age restrictions, and it builds upon our action last year prohibiting the sale of intoxicating hemp-derived THC products to anyone under the age of 21.
Those fines now match the top penalties allowed under the state. The ordinance now hands to the mayor.
An investigation continues after Milwaukee fire crews put out a fire in Milwaukee's River West neighborhood. They were called to the area of Holton and North at about 8 o'clock this morning, and they found flames shooting out of the second floor of a duplex there. Neighbors tell WTMJ that the homeowner was at his fiance's home in Kenosha when the fire started. They also kicked out a homeless person from that facility yesterday.
Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson names former Beloit Police Chief Andre Sales as Seattle's interim police chief. The big announcement comes after the resignation of Seattle Police Chief Sean Barnes following the mass shooting at the Bite of Seattle event last Sunday that left 3 people dead. Interim Chief Sales.
In light of the tragic incident, the Seattle Police Department has heard from our community about safety concerns at public gatherings and events. We hear you. We understand your anxiety. In response to these concerns, the Seattle Police Department will increase staffing at all remaining major summer events.
Now, Barnes, who just resigned, was police chief in Madison during the Abundant Life Christian School shooting in December 2024 before taking that job in Seattle.
Time now for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. The Dow's up 293 points at 52,500. The NASDAQ in the green up 210 at 25,332. The S&P 500's up as well, 46 points in the green at 74.83. It's financial planning at every level. It's Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. More details now at annexwealth.com.
Family night for the pack 1 week from today. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:04.
$998 buys you a magnificent diamond solitaire engagement ring at Kessler's.
A solid gold mounting shows off a big, beautiful diamond, 3/4 of a carat.
Glitter, twinkle, sparkle.
This is the definitive diamond solitaire engagement ring.
You can choose a round diamond, radiant, marquise, or oval.
3/4 of a carat. Any shape you want.
Any color of gold you want.
A 1-carat solitaire is just $1,498.
Ask to see the Evermore engagement rings at Kessler's.
You're going to be ecstatic about the color, clarity, and cut of your diamond.
Evermore.
Each of these diamonds was lovingly created in the heart of a miniature star.
Your diamond will remain.
Evermore.
Your diamond was born about the time you fell in love.
You will be in love.
Evermore.
Your diamond has been waiting patiently for you to see it, love it, and choose it.
Don't keep it waiting. Come to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
This message reaches 1 million people or more every week. Spreading the gospel is more than one voice speaking to 1 million. It is and must continue to be 1 million voices, each speaking to one, pointing them to our friend Jesus.
The Lutheran Hour with Dr. Michael Ziegler.
The Lutheran Hour, Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
988 Wisconsin Lifeline. How can I help you?
Share hope, find purpose when you become a 988 Lifeline counselor. The 988 Wisconsin Lifeline provides free and confidential support to anyone in crisis. 988 has experienced tremendous growth and more statewide counselors are needed. Staffed by Family Services, 988 counselors work remotely, are offered flexible hours, competitive compensation, benefits, and training. Apply today at 988lifelinecounselor.org. Family Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Paid for by grants from SAMHSA and the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. A welcome sight at Packers training camp today, that being tight end Tucker Kraft, who was on the field for the first time since tearing his ACL last November. Kraft today officially removed from the physically unable to perform list. Following practice today, head coach Matt LaFleur addressed the media, talked a bit about bigger picture items for his team during training camp this month. Says one of those things will be getting in and out of the huddle, quicker.
Anytime an offense approaches the line of scrimmage, the faster they approach the line of scrimmage, the more pressure it puts on the defense. So, yeah, that was a big point of emphasis.
Family night is 1 week from today. The Brewers, meanwhile, they're out west this weekend. They take on the Los Angeles Angels. Tonight marks game 1 of a 3-game weekend series. Coverage right here on WTMJ starts at 8 p.m.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic. Still dealing with this crash out in the Delafield area. Looks like we have a new development here. I-94 West at the ramp from County C. The right shoulder is blocked. Earlier I could see that there was a car off the interstate. It was in the grassy median area off to the side there. Traffic is moving very slowly around this. It's also raining in that area at this point. You can definitely see that the roads are wet, excuse me. I am looking right now at a red vehicle that just put its lights on. So good news there. You'll want to do that as well if you are driving through the rain right now. So heads up here. We've got this crash that is still an issue. I-94 West at the ramp from County C. There is an emergency responder out there, and it looks like as well we've got a tow truck out there now too, trying to get this truck up on it and out of the way. So I'll keep you posted. Other than that, we're looking pretty good. Just a couple of disabled vehicles out on the system that are not causing problems. One that is a little bit more of an issue, 4394 South at Nashville. That's the 6th Street area. There's a semi that's broken down off to the side. Traffic is moving along okay, but definitely tapping the brakes as I see that big semi off to the side.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford needs line cooks and dishwashers. You'll make real money. Parents and grandparents, tell your kids. Contact the Mineshaft today and start next week.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. The rain is here in southeast Wisconsin officially, and it'll be here for a while. National Weather Service say to expect rain for the next about 12 hours or so. Overnight tonight, a low 66. The rain will begin to taper off tomorrow early afternoon, a high of about 72 degrees. Sunday, it'll be dry but cool, partly cloudy, breezy, a high 72. Into next week, Monday, mostly sunny, 77 degrees is your high, and on Tuesday, bit warmer, a bit more humid, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, it is 73 degrees at 2:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Ty, and in for Greg Matzek, it's Mike Spalding.
Wait, how long are we supposed to expect rain for?
10-ish hours.
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
when you said that. I was thinking earlier, it's not too bad. I feel like we could use a day like this, but then when you said how many hours we can expect that rain.
Well, half of them will at least be sleeping, I think. But I'm ready for the cool weather. You know what I'm really excited for? We talked about this a little earlier. Having my windows open. I'm a big windows open
fresh
guy.
Air in. That sounds good.
Yes, but I'm not a big I want to be sweaty in my house guy. So I need these low 70s.
I hear you. And you know what? Before you know it, it's actually this time next week we'll be at State Fair.
Yeah, we will
State Fair, you always have some really, really hot days. So if you don't like that, appreciate what we're dealing with today because definitely cooler weather as we're sitting at 74 degrees in Milwaukee. We've got one more hour ahead.
Here's your top 2 at 2 on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, an arrest now resulting in a leave of absence. CBS just put broadcaster Tony Romo on leave after his arrest right here in Milwaukee. The network made the announcement today, a little more than a week after Romo was arrested on suspicion of OWI. This is the first time CBS has said anything about this. A lot of us were waiting to see what was CBS going to say. Were they going to come out with a statement? Well, more than a week later, we finally have something, but this is all it is. One line. Tony Romo was on leave from his role at CBS Sports until further notice. The former Cowboys quarterback was pulled over in the Marquette interchange. A Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputy said Romo performed poorly on a field sobriety test and refused a preliminary breath test. Many of you have watched the body cam video, so you have seen it. It's very interesting to see, too, just kind of the public's perception on what exactly happened here and whether people feel like he performed poorly or not. Some people are saying, oh, man, he performed better than I would have done without an ounce of alcohol in me. Others are saying, oh, yeah, it looks like he didn't do so well. First offense OWI is not a criminal charge in Wisconsin. We are unlike other states across the country. It is typically a civil offense with a fine here. Former Cowboys quarterback, now broadcaster, is a Burlington native, and he was back here in his home state to play in the Wisconsin Amateur Championship. But this is kind of cool. this is a little twist. This is the cool part here. Romo's leave of absence creates an opening, and a Wisconsin native is going to fill it. If you are a J.J. Watt fan, heads up on this one. CBS is putting J.J. Watt in Romo's spot. The Pewaukee native will work alongside Jim Nance and Tracy Wolfson, and they've been along for a long, long time. So that's going to be a cool spot for him to slide into.
Yeah, call up to the majors for J.J. Watt. I'm going to head east to Camp David, where President Trump today held a cabinet meeting that, among other things, was televised for the first time ever. It's not the biggest news out of that meeting, though, Jessica. The president also saying that U.S. negotiators have reached a deal with Hamas to lay down its weapons and relinquish its control over Gaza. ABC's Karen Travers has more.
This is something that the president's Board of Peace, that alliance that was aimed at trying to end the hostilities in Gaza, had been working toward. There will be a lot of questions to the president about this today, of course, and how this actually will play out now in the coming weeks and months.
Well, how big of a deal is this? Because we've gotten a number of mixed messages, both with what's going on in Gaza, but also the Iran war. We've had temporary ceasefires. We've had almost peace deals, a bunch of different announcements with the Strait of Hormuz, things along those lines. Who really knows what is serious and what is not? Well, this is apparently a really big deal, at least according to ABC News contributor and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for the Middle East, Mick Mulroy.
If this does happen, then this is a big deal for the 20-point peace plan and for the people of Gaza. It needs to happen. It should be a public acknowledgement, and they couldn't, of course, put those caveats on when they make those public acknowledgments.
Certainly plenty of news coming out of Camp David earlier this afternoon.
If this happens, all right, we're waiting to see. A Milwaukee father got the alert. His daughter's rideshare was just 2 minutes from its destination. But 2 minutes passed, then 5 minutes passed, then 10. Where was his daughter? What happened has Milwaukee police investigating, and we're talking about it next. It's 2:14.
Vince Vitrano here with your HVAC guy, Urban Heating and Cooling. How much longer does that furnace have? Question to ask my man Ryan. His family-owned business with his wife Ellie, based in Franklin. They serve all of southeast Wisconsin. Now, what Ryan most wants to do is help you get as much life out of that furnace that you've already got. But when you have him in for a tune-up, now he can give you an honest assessment on how much longer that older unit will hold out. Free estimate is always part of the deal, so you know it will fit your budget. Tell him Vinny sent you when you call urbanheatingandcooling.com.
25 years ago, a generational Bucks team made an unforgettable run.
This is the place to be.
Write It Up, narrated by Jim Paschke, is the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. This is the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks and their run to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
Absolute bedlam here at the Bradley Center.
Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Where you live matters. Searching for assisted living can bring a lot of questions and a lot of emotion. At the Wisconsin Assisted Living Association, we believe you need a clear, complete picture without pressure. That's why we partnered with the American Seniors Housing Association on whereyouLiveMatters.org, a one-stop destination with unbiased information to help you understand your options and connect directly with providers in your area. No confusion, just tools that help you take the next step with confidence. Start your research today at whereyouLiveMatters.org.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Hope you'll join us Saturdays at 1 for Experience Wisconsin. We take you across the state, introducing you to the people and places that make Wisconsin such a great place for a vacation. We head south to Kenosha, talking about one last summer getaway with our friends at Visit Kenosha. And we're up in the Northwoods planning that fall trip up in the Rhinelander area. It's Experience Wisconsin on WTMJ, 1 o'clock on Saturdays. Let us help plan your next trip.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, cloudy, rainy throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours here in downtown Milwaukee, an overnight low of 66 degrees. Tomorrow, those rain showers will continue through the morning, taper off into the afternoon, a high of about 72 degrees. On Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, a high about 72 degrees. Monday, warming up a bit, mostly sunny, a high 77. Tuesday, mostly cloudy skies, warm and humid, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, it is 73 degrees at 217.
Now to a WTMJ exclusive. A Milwaukee teenager says what should have been a routine Lyft ride turned into something terrifying. She says the driver took her past her destination, ended the trip, wouldn't let her out of the car, and repeatedly kissed her against her will. WTMJ community reporter Tori Lowe has been digging into the family's allegations and the questions their story raises about rideshare safety. Thanks for joining us, Tori.
Thank y'all for having me.
So can you walk us through what this 17-year-old says exactly happened from the moment she got into that Lyft until she finally got away?
Well, her dad needed her to babysit. This is a situation where she received a call from her dad early in the morning. Hey, this evening, I'm going to need you to come by and help babysit your brothers and sisters. The dad set up the Lyft through his app. And so when the Lyft driver came, the Lyft driver came around 6:51. She gets in the back of a black Honda HRV. She sits in the back seat, and during the ride, the driver didn't speak Spanish, so he kind of nudged her.
Didn't speak English, right?
Oh no, he didn't. He didn't speak English. He spoke Spanish. Sorry about that. But then he nudges her to come to the front seat to read a translator app, and that's when she went from the back seat to the front seat. And a lot of people that read the story was like, "How did she get in the front seat?" Well, she was trying to communicate. I guess he was trying to show her the translation app. And so the driver motioned her to get in the front seat. She complies. The expected drop-off time passes, and the dad says, okay, I'm waiting to try to see, okay, she's supposed to be here. She's not here. He panics. He starts to go and look for her, and the mom gets involved, and the mom finds her eventually by Forest Home School on the south side, walking through a lot, afraid, screaming, terrified. And that's when she starts to tell the family what took place. And while she was in this Lyft, the driver held her seat locked in her arm while he was talking to her in Spanish through this translator. She said she can read the translator, and he kept saying, I want a kiss. And she said, I'm 17. He replies, age is nothing but a number. And he continues to try to, get her to be his girlfriend, I guess. The story is just so crazy to watch that this 17-year-old girl had to go through this. What I'll say is this. The driver that day turned off his location, took her to the side. The family said it took a whole hour. This whole thing lasted nearly an hour. And once they were able to get her, they called police. That's when police came to investigate. MPD swabbed, did a DNA swab, took a jacket that she had, and now they're looking for the Lyft driver. Lyft has been contacted. Lyft also has replied in the article on WTMJ. You can read the full article on WTMJ.com. Where Lyft has said that they have suspended the account of the driver, and also the dad account was temporarily suspended due to the fact that he booked a minor through his app for a ride. So that's how he got suspended.
So where does this story live right now? You said police are still looking for this driver as of your reporting.
Right now, they're still looking for the driver. I guess we have to wait until MPD kind of can get in contact with the driver or actually arrest. Lyft has responded and said that they're cooperating with law enforcement right now. So I'm hoping that we can get the driver into a space where we can understand more on his part in this.
It's a frightening story when you listen to all the allegations and you think about how many people out there. I mean, how many of us have taken, whether it's an Uber ride or you've requested a Lyft ride to go to somewhere just because it's easy, because you don't want to bring a car, maybe the parking's tough, or because you're being safe, because maybe you're going to have a cocktail and you want to make sure you're getting back safely. So many people have taken these rideshare services. So I feel like this is a case that really raises a bigger question about rideshare services and safety. I know parents can book rides for their kids, and sometimes you can book even for like an elderly person. If you have your mother-in-law or something needs to get to a doctor's, you can help with that. So what should parents know now with this story in mind before booking a ride for their kids?
Well, if you have women or a daughter or somebody that's using the app, they have functions for teens now that you can have a teen. They have special security for teens, PIN numbers. Also, they have women drivers. I know Uber has the option where if you want a woman driver, you can use that option. And I think that when this story came out, I got an email sent to me from Lyft, and they said that they do not, condone. They don't even like that this driver was even in this space to where they want to make sure that he's justice is served on the behalf of the family. So I just kind of read that, and I was like, okay, that means that Lyft is working and making actions to try to make sure that this situation is resolved. But there are a lot of things that people can do. They can track the ride in real time. Parents should follow the trip on their own device. Once again, you got to make sure that, especially when it comes to young women, women in general, when they get in these Lyfts, when they get in these Ubers, that all of the safety protections are followed. And I wouldn't ride any service like this unless I'm following a lot of these safety guidelines.
The other thing you said, Tori, that kind of stuck out to me was the dad kind of getting in a little bit of hot water here as well for booking a ride for a minor. I didn't know that was against, I guess, protocols for a rideshare company.
I learned through this story that if you have an app and you're an adult and you're booking for a minor, that is a violation of policy. So you have to go through a teen option. If they're a minor, there are options that you have to go through to actually book that ride. But he said he booked it several times before. But I guess now that there's an incident, there's a police report, now there's a violation of the terms of some of the policies that Lyft has.
Well, and you think about anybody who's requesting one of these rides, I think it's always a good thing to make sure you know the make of the make and model of the car that you're getting into, the color, the driver's name, and the license plate. I know anytime I'm jumping into one, the first thing I do is I kind of go to the back of the car and I look at the license plate. I check it. Yes. When I open the door, I say, "Are you so-and-so here for Jessica?" But unfortunately, even doing that would not have prevented a situation like this. But you're telling us that Lyft has booted this guy off the system. But the problem is police have not been able to find this guy yet to question him.
And you would think that with all the information that you would have to verify to be a part of Uber, a part of Lyft, that this would be somewhere where they can have an address, maybe something solid on the vehicle, who's the owner. Right now, as of yesterday, I have not heard that they have actually made contact with this Lyft driver, but Lyft, a spokesperson for Lyft, responded to an email. They said the behavior described is unacceptable. The driver has been permanently removed from the platform. We stand ready to assist law enforcement with their investigation. So if they can give a lot of the information that goes with signing up for this, I would think that they would be able to at least locate the vehicle.
WTMJ community reporter Tori Lowe with that WTMJ exclusive. You can see all the details online. Milwaukee family demands answers after Lyft driver allegedly forced his tongue into a teen's mouth. It's 2:25.
John Mercure here for Connect Chiropractic. Life today can keep us stuck in stress mode. Headaches, poor sleep, constant tension, feeling worn down. At Connect Chiropractic, the focus isn't just masking symptoms, it's finding the root cause, helping your nervous system function the way it was designed so your body can heal, adapt, and perform at its best. If you deal with headaches, sleep struggles, or neck and back pain from long days at a desk, take a closer look. Start with a first visit at Connect Chiropractic. It includes advanced scans, digital x-rays, helping uncover what's really going on. Connect Chiropractic.
Do you have a clear advertising message that assures your potential customers will choose your business over others when they need your goods or services? Will you have time to nurture it so it stays interesting? Can you buy media effectively and cheap enough so that your business stays top of mind? You're a business owner, and we understand how busy you are. And that's why we do these very things to help our clients gain market share and grow their business. Anderson-Smith.com. We help small budget advertisers get better results. Making a big advertising budget work? To us, that's easy. We feel that our ability to make small advertising budgets work in a big way truly demonstrates we really do know what we're doing. And that's why we should talk. We'll take your advertising budget, put it to work, and if history tells us anything, it will be the best investment in your business that you've ever made. Go to Anderson-Smith.com, email me, and I'll call you in short order. Because small or big budget, We help advertisers get better results.
See Europe from a completely new perspective with Fox World Travel and Avalon Waterways. Cruising down legendary rivers like the Danube or the Rhine, your luxury boutique hotel travels with you. Relax in award-winning panorama suites featuring wall-to-wall windows, enjoy premium local wine and dining, and step off directly into the heart of historic castles and villages. Your next incredible river cruise awaits. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com today.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Have you ever wondered if you're giving the right way? Maybe you want to support a charity that's important to you, but you're not sure how it fits into your estate plan or what it means for your family's future. Join Annex Wealth Management for a free webinar, More Giving, Less Guessing. Hear from me, yours truly, Steve Scavidi, and CEO Dave Spano, estate planning attorney Alec Durand, as we share practical strategies to help you give with confidence and create the legacy you envision. Reserve your free spot today at annexwealth.com/events. That's annexwealth.com/events.
Bo here from Ridgetop Exteriors. Southern Wisconsin got hit hard with hail recently. If your home took a beating, now's the time to take action. We've been delivering top quality roofing, siding, and window services locally for over 23 years. With free damage assessments and insurance experts on staff, we've been your licensed, local, and trusted contractor since day one. Don't wait until small damage becomes a big problem. Turn to Ridgetop Exteriors today. RidgetopExteriors.com. That's RidgetopExteriors.com.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
It's the most wonderful time of year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
It's 2:30. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, July 31st. I'm Jessica Ty. Your top story, the National Guard on the ground in the Fox Valley.
Mike Spalding identifying a man killed by a lightning strike.
The rain is here. It has arrived in many communities.
ABC News, I'm Chuck Sievertson. President Trump says he's losing faith in the Iran negotiations after having described the talks for some time as optimistic and saying Iran desperately wants to make a deal on Iran's military.
We have obliterated their military capacity. Again, they've got some left, but soon they won't have some left.
Rising oil prices worsen worries about inflation squeezing the bond market. Huge spring profits reported by the American oil companies. The president taking credit for what he calls a deal with Israel and Hamas. Hamas says it will disarm only if a Palestinian state is created, something Israel adamantly rejects. Spain's government and local officials say about 60,000 migrants crossed the border entering a Spanish region from Morocco. Local officials say about 48,000 have gone back voluntarily. This migrant says there are no opportunities in Morocco. He says, I want to stay, but
your people don't want us.
This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 2:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the National Guard is now in the Fox Valley helping with recovery efforts after Monday's EF3 tornado. The Community Development Director for Menasha tells us the Guard is doing more than just removing debris.
They're assisting with traffic control, helping monitor some of the access closure points. We're really trying to obviously stress to folks not to come into these heavily impacted areas unless you're in some sort of official volunteer capacity.
A 10 p.m. curfew, a boil advisory, and a burn ban are also still in effect for Menasha, Neenah, in Fox Crossing.
Identifying a man who died after a lightning strike in Whitewater. Police say 31-year-old Rodrigo Berea Areola of West Virginia was working as a tree trimmer when the severe storm struck Monday.
We found to Court and Elizabeth for a male subject motionless 80 feet in a tree due to electricity issue.
And police say the 31-year-old ended up suspended roughly 60 feet in the air before Whitewater emergency crews were able to rescue him. There was no evidence that he came into contact with electrical lines. He died at the scene.
There's still time for people in Wisconsin to apply for federal disaster assistance if they were impacted by the severe storms and flooding this spring.
The deadline to apply for FEMA aid and SBA disaster loans is August 31st, impacted by the April storms. Eligible homeowners and renters, businesses, and eligible nonprofits can apply online or at a local disaster recovery center. More details are available on our website, WTMJ.com. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
A man now facing multiple on Milwaukee's South Side. Macias then attacked a 99-year-old female homeowner when she opened the door. The woman needed to wait roughly 3 hours for police to arrive. She's currently in the hospital with serious injuries. Macias could face up to 75 years in prison if convicted.
Decision Wisconsin. As State Representative Francesca Hong continues to poll as the most likely Democratic gubernatorial pick. Polls also suggest she has the lowest chance of beating Congressman Tom Tiffany. Some Republicans have even suggested they'll vote for Hong in the primary to ensure she's Tiffany's opponent. The congressman himself on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
No, if you're a Republican, vote in the Republican primary. There are races across Wisconsin where Republicans are on the primary ballot. Let's make sure we get the best Republicans through in the primary. That gives us a better chance to be able to win in November.
4 Democrats remain in the race ahead of the partisan primary election coming up on August 11th.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 2:34.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on Old Dutch Tortilla, Crunch, or Ripples chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 8-ounce selected varieties, Essential Everyday Shredded or Chunk Cheese, 2 for $4. Whole seedless watermelon, $3.99. Fresh 85% lean ground beef, $4.99 a pound.
It's a long fly ball.
What?
Safe.
Every time I scan, what is happening?
A leaping grab at the wall.
Okay, fine, I'll play. Get a load of this watermelon. And here's the pitch.
Please wait for assistance.
Win Century Foods Ultimate Fan Experiences at Milwaukee baseball games. Throw out the first pitch, hold the ribbon for the Johnsonville famous sausage race, or watch batting practice from the field.
Ooh, what do I do?
Complete the entry form in Century's weekly ad and return to the store.
Oh, no, what happened here? Oh, self-checkout couldn't handle my heater. Here, I filled out my entry form. Gotta go. Have a great day. I'll go get the mop.
Enter by August 5th.
The first thing I thought about is, what am I going to do?
Peggy and Willie were injured when a driver ran a stop sign.
I was injured pretty bad, and they reached out to me and made sure that I got the medical attention that I needed to make that recovery. One call, that was all, and everything went well.
Here for you 24/7. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Foster care isn't about finding perfect kids. It's about being there when they need you most.
Mrs. White stuck out even when she didn't have to. She took me back in. That's why I'm here.
The hard part is you got to stick around. It's only through a lot of hard times sometimes that a kid kind of gets to that turning point to then have the breakthrough where you did change that kid's life.
Exactly.
Sometimes changing a child's life starts with simply refusing to give up. Learn more at lacausa.org.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Good news for Packers tight end Tucker Kraft. He's officially been removed from the physically unable to perform list. Kraft out on the practice field with his teammates this morning. Speaking to reporters following their practice today, head coach Matt LaFleur says they're continuing to look for ways to improve the team, and that includes with QB1.
One of the things that he's been really focused and conscious of throughout the course of the offseason and on his own in the summer is just trying to play with as much balance in the pocket as he can. One thing you see from I'd say majority of quarterbacks in the league, when they are balanced in the pocket, they're going to be more consistent and more accurate over time.
Family night for the Packers is 1 week from today. The Brewers, meanwhile, they're out west in Los Angeles. They start a 3-game weekend series with the Angels tonight. Coverage on WTMJ starts at 8 o'clock.
Checking out the roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We've had a couple of issues this afternoon, and we continue to have that. It is raining in many spots right now. The rain has arrived. If it hasn't in your area yet, just be prepared. It is likely coming. We have a new crash that popped up about 3 minutes ago in a very busy spot downtown I-94 West. At 4394 North, 2 left lanes are now closed due to this crash. That's not too far from Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. I'm going to pull up the camera here for you. I do see that traffic is definitely slow in this spot. Looks like emergency responders are already at the scene. I can see one of the cars. Actually, now I can see the camera's moving a little bit. I can see 2 of the cars involved. One of them looks like a mess. In fact, it looks like maybe possibly one of the tires came off as well, because it looks like it's just smushed in the front down to one side. Traffic is just creeping along next to it. And it's a messy day for emergency responders to be out there as it is raining right now. So heads up there if you're traveling in the area. We've got a new crash, I-94 West, right there at 4394 North. That is not too far from Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. It's a little bit before you get to American Family Field, where I'm definitely seeing slowdowns in the construction zone. So a little bit heavier. That's both eastbound and westbound in our construction zone right there around the ballpark. We also have a broken down vehicle in I-94 West, right by the ramp from Moreland Road out in the Brookfield area. And I'm just seeing some slowdowns around the area because of the rain. And then you add the construction in, and that's not great. So be careful out there, everybody.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly cloudy skies, rainy throughout the day today, a low overnight of 66 degrees. Tomorrow, that rain will stick around in the morning, should begin to taper off into the afternoon hours, a high of 72. Sunday, partly cloudy, breezy, 72 degrees will be your high. Monday, sunny, 77. And on Tuesday, a bit warmer, a bit more humid as well, a high of 80 degrees. Right now, downtown Milwaukee, it is 74 degrees. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 2:40.
That date on your old spices means it's time to throw them out? Not necessarily. Most food date labels are about quality, not safety. Yet millions of Americans throw away perfectly good food because they're misunderstood. Now California is trying to simplify the confusion with new standardized labels. Could our state be next? ABC's Jim Ryan joins us. Jim, which food date labels are about quality, and then which ones are actually about food safety?
Well, the ones that are sort of subjective. Best by this date, best if used by this date, enjoy by this date. There's even an iced tea place here in my town. And on the side they mark guzzle by this date. Those are all subjective things, and they're all about quality, right? So best by, by that date, the quality is good. It may be at the peak of quality, and then after that date, it starts to degrade somewhat in quality. Food safety is a bit different thing. Sell by is really the one that you want to watch for, because that means generally that you've hit the food safety limit. And those dates really are intended for the grocers, not necessarily for us, the consumers. So, yeah, it can be confusing.
So, Jim, what should I be paying attention to then? Do we have any clarification on which one I should really be looking at to make sure that whatever I'm eating, my hamburger or whatever it's going to be, is still safe to eat? Maybe not necessarily the most flavorful thing in the world, but still safe.
Well, the thing you need to do is trust your senses, literally. Sniff it, look at it, see, does the color look right of that particular food, no matter what it is? Does it smell okay? Even, milk especially, you can really tell when that's gone bad, right? Mm-hmm. But it might not go bad for several days after that date that's stamped on the label. So, yeah, trust your senses. There is an interesting website. I didn't even realize this existed. The Department of Agriculture puts it out. It's called foodsafety.gov, and it'll clarify the food safety of just about everything from spices to vegetables. Meat, you really don't want to mess with. If it's hit its expiration date and it's a pound of ground beef, the steaks, fish, poultry, you want to make sure that you don't really mess around with that.
Meat, milk, you're so right. The spices, Jim, I mentioned that off the top. Before I came into work today, I was looking through some of my spices. I have bay leaves that are like 2 decades old. They're from Hy-Vee. We don't even have Hy-Vee around Milwaukee. I think I took them through 2 different moves. And here's the thing. I don't use bay leaves often. I'm not worried if I go and I take one of those out that it's going to make me sick, but maybe it's just not as potent, maybe not as flavorful, right?
Right. And that's maybe the reason there's a label on there in the first place. There are something like 50 different labels all across the country. It's just sort of patchwork right now. And you're right, Jessica. California has decided to sort of standardize the whole thing, close the question, and just have 2 labels. One is the best by date, meaning the quality is at that date. That's where it's the best. And the sell by date, meaning that you need to get rid of it most likely. You know that there's only one product legally required by the federal government to have an expiration date: infant formula.
Oh.
Because that's the only thing an infant is eating. And at that point, on that date, it starts to lose its nutrition. And so that's the only product out there. The rest of them, the labeling is set by not a government agency, not some oversight committee, but by the food companies themselves.
Jim, I didn't realize this was so individualized. I don't know. I always assumed that like the FDA was the one who was setting these regulations and things like that.
Nope.
Has there been any talk about federalizing food safety as we kind of move through this, I guess, new era with tech and all that kind of stuff? I'm sure food's safer, but has there been any interest in federalizing something?
Well, yeah, I think so. You know, the USDA does inspect meat and poultry and fish. It does do those sorts of inspections, but not necessarily the rest of it all. The canned goods, the packaged goods that we buy, the fruits and vegetables. So, yeah, but there's always that kind of undercurrent of people who say, you know what, we probably need some broad federal regulation. I mean, if they can set a federal standard for infant formula, why not, say the critics, set up a process for labeling the food for the rest of us?
The other thing, as I think about these dates on our food products, I'm wondering, too, how much of a difference could better understanding these labels make in reducing food waste?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Food safety specialists say that we waste millions of tons of food every year because it's reached its expiration or its best by date. In fact, the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health did a survey about this, finding that 80% of consumers toss out food just based on the due date or the best by date. They toss it without looking at it, sniffing it, tasting it, seeing if it could be okay. So, yeah, you can see, Jessica, the monumental amount of food that we're wasting.
Have these labels changed? I think about, preservatives being put in food, and I guess that'd be the second part of my question for you is, with the way that food is processed these days, I mean, I look at milk, 50, 60, 70 years ago, your milk probably wasn't lasting 2.5 weeks, whatever it is. Are these like numbers ever updated, these best by dates and things like that?
Well, if they are, they're updated by the food companies themselves. But, yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, there weren't best by dates on any foods at all. You sort of trusted your gut, so to speak, trusted your nose and your eyes to see if the thing was still good. And so if there is an evolution in this whole process, it's one that's done by the industry itself, not by some government agency. The difference here, the outlier, is California, where it's the first state in the country to standardize the food labels.
What about a block of cheese, Jim? Can you cut off that mold and it's okay, or is that just a Wisconsin thing? Is that just something our parents told us here?
Yeah, a loaf of bread with a little mold on it, cut it away. Cheese, the one thing I've noticed is that once it starts to get mold on it, and yeah, you can slice it away and eat the cheese. The cheese itself starts to lose its color. If it's a bright orange, sharp cheddar, it kind of loses its color just a bit. And you can see that. So look at it with your eyes. And as that process continues, at some point, it probably won't be usable.
Jim, how did the change go over in California thus far? I think always of like the industry is going to push back on whatever it is. More regulation. Most places don't like red tape. Have things gone pretty smoothly there? And I guess could that be like pushing it towards expanding maybe to different states? I don't know if it would be Wisconsin here right away, but maybe something closer to the west or maybe even on the East Coast.
Yeah, well, sure. And I think it's been pretty well received, even by the California Grocers Association. They're okay with this. They're the ones who, these labels, the Best Buy, the Sell By, those dates are intended not for us, the consumers, but for the grocers, the people who put the stuff on the shelves. And so I think they're okay with it there. New York State recently passed similar measures for labels. Right now it's waiting Governor Kathy Hochul's signature. So, yeah, state by state, there may be changes. There'll be one big federal blanket over the whole thing? Probably not. It's going to remain kind of a patchwork.
Jim, one more quick thing before we let you go here. I'm wondering about freezing food before the use by date. Does that extend its safe shelf life? I know every once in a while I've got ravioli and it says use by this date and it's the next day and I'm like, oh shoot, and then I stick it in the freezer hoping I can just extend its life a little bit.
Love ravioli. Freezing it is the best thing. In fact, a lot of the labels will tell you use by or freeze by this particular date because, that will extend out to life. And you can check with this website, the foodsafety.gov website, to see how far it will extend the life of that frozen good.
All right, Jim, you love ravioli. Rana. It's inexpensive, 4 minutes. That's all you need. It's quick. It's yummy. It's pretty healthy.
You're not making it yourself, then. It's not a homemade thing.
Oh, no, Jim. We don't have time for that. Do you have time to make your own ravioli?
Yeah, I'll make time.
Okay, then you send me that recipe. Appreciate it, Jim. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Take care.
ABC's Jim Ryan. Stories of the Strange. Up next, it's 2:48.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage authority in Wisconsin. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to meet your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to GeisDoors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis. Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Here's why you can feel confident in choosing Less's Glass to fabricate and install your new shower door or glass bath enclosure. For over 40 years, we've done thousands of them. And when you want a new and modern aesthetic added to your bathroom, you want a crew with experience behind it. We fabricate new shower doors or bath enclosures to fit any space of your bathroom, all done in-house. And that's great for quality control. It could be a neo-angle shower stall, a corner enclosure, a bypass for your tub or shower, or a heavy 3/8-inch all-glass enclosure. Any idea you have, framed or frameless, we can handle it. And when you work with a family-owned company, the buck stops here, because we're not satisfied until you are. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
I'm with Eric, Director of Research for Good Karma Brands. They have business technology from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Eric, what does partner mean to you?
Partner isn't just out for them. The partner cares about how we solve our problems, and it can be a mutually beneficial relationship from there on.
And I understand throughout the more than 15-year partnership between Good Karma Brands and James Imaging Systems, you have shared many core values.
Absolutely. Work hard, be honest, over-deliver, follow through, listen, teamwork.
Eric, summarize your overall business technology partnership with James Imaging Systems for me.
Outstanding. As we've grown tremendously and you guys have still been able to meet our needs each step of our growth, that's huge.
AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
The stories you're talking about on Wisconsin's Morning News.
We, say collectively, would be well served by keeping open minds. If you still have to be open to the possibility that one or more of the officers involved in this did not act properly. We don't know what we don't know in this case right now, and you have to be open to the possibility that authorities determine the officer who fired had reason to fear for his life and lawfully fired on this armed suspect, Corey Ruiz.
Only here on WTMJ. Catch up with the Wisconsin's Morning News podcast on WTMJ.com.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Mostly cloudy skies and rainy throughout the remainder of your afternoon here on this Friday. Rain will continue into the overnight hours. It'll get quite windy as well. There are some spot thunderstorms we could be seeing in parts of southeast Wisconsin, an overnight low of 66 degrees. The rain showers will continue throughout the morning, taper off into the afternoon tomorrow. A high Saturday of 72. Sunday, partly cloudy and breezy, 72 degrees is your high. Monday, mostly sunny, a high 77. Tuesday, warmer, a bit more humid as well, a high of 80 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, it is 73 degrees and rainy at 2:53.
It's Friday, which means it's time for Stories of the Strange on Wisconsin's Midday News.
If you've ever wondered what dedication looks like, meet David Rush. The Idaho man was trying to break a Guinness World Record by juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle. You want to watch this guy try to break the record?
Yes.
We have the video live right now on YouTube and streaming on our social media channels. During an early practice session, there he goes. Oh, see, all of a sudden you saw in the video if you're watching, it said, what happened? Yeah, something happened. During an early practice session, the wind blew the flames back into his face, burning off his eyebrows. Doesn't have any eyebrows left, Mike.
Well, good things, like sacrifice. What is it? You got to sacrifice to do the things, to get the things other people don't have. You got to do the things other people won't do. This is it.
He also scorched the hair on his hands. Most people would have called it quits. Not this guy, not Rush. He spent weeks practicing with unlit torches, then came back for another shot. On his final attempt, he made 175 consecutive catches while riding the unicycle, shattering the previous record, which was 37. So he just blew it out of the park. Guy lost his eyebrows.
What do you stop doing first?
But he gained a world record.
Do you stop cycling first or do you stop juggling first?
Listen, did you have to juggle in like gym class back in school?
Yes.
It was not really my thing. I wasn't that good at it.
Did you use we started off with not tissues, but kind of tissue paper.
Oh, tissue paper. That seems very difficult.
And then once you get the idea of putting multiple things in the air and keeping your eyes on them, then we moved to the almost like hacky sacks.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. That's what I remember first was a hacky sack. And then you did pins and...
Yeah.
Some kid who was really good was trying to do bowling balls or something. No, I don't think that happened.
Flaming pins or whatever this guy's doing. Did you guys have Klutz books? Klutz, Gina? No?
What are those?
Klutz? It's they were activity books, nerdy activity books. So you'd learn how to you get them Scholastic book fairs. And
I love the Scholastic book fair.
Yes, and you'd buy them and they would teach you how to make paper airplanes, or they would teach you how to play Cracker Jacks or whatever it is. And I had one that was juggling. And anyway, my brother and I ended up just throwing the juggling balls at each other instead of learning how to do it. But Klutz books. Gina, don't look at me like that.
Klutz
You're old, Mike. You're dating yourself.
Klutz. They're in black and white too.
Somebody's texting in right now saying they remember those too. Who this guy reminds me of? When I saw this story, he reminds me of the fire guy who comes to Wisconsin State Fair and who we've had on our show, Wisconsin's Midday News, I think 2 years in a row now.
Yes,
and it's
juggling.
About time for me to text him and say, are you coming back to Wisconsin State Fair?
Outside.
In fact, outside. Do you remember what we did the first year?
I do, when he juggled the flaming cream puffs.
He juggled flaming cream puffs. Yes.
I do remember.
That was fantastic. How Wisconsin is that, though? That was so great. I was just trying to look for him in my phone, and I thought I found him because I've got a guy named Torch, nicknamed Torch, in my phone. I was like, oh, good, I got him. And then I looked, and I'm like, oh, no, that's not him.
How many... Wait, hold on. You have two torches, and you have multiple guys or people who might be maybe the flaming juggler?
Well, you know who Torch is, I realized. All of a sudden, I pulled it up really quickly, and I thought it was him, and then I looked at the text, and I thought, I know we've texted back and forth, because setting him up 2 years in a row, I knew we'd texted more than this. Torch guy was the guy who was involved with the food show, Top Chef, when it was focused on Wisconsin, and then he was the torch guy up in Door County for the fish boil.
Yes.
He's the guy who
I love a good
boil
fish boil.
over.
Yeah, I love a good fish boil.
I feel like somebody's yelling boil over right now because we're out of time.
She is.
Boil over. It's the weekend, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is up next.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wicker, Chief Homebuyer Helper with Wisconsin's own Accunet Mortgage. Nicer homes are still getting multiple offers over asking, and there's only one winner per listing. I want to help you be that winner, which is why I just increased the rock-solid pre-approval guarantee to $10,000. It's all about getting the seller to pick your offer over the others. So Accunet is now guaranteeing in writing